Ladies love the skin.
Ow.
Bring it a little bit closer. The good skin, that is. That's why having a proper skincare routine is very important, and you need to feel it to each. The process is so easy, just 4 steps. You got your daily face wash. That's gonna clean your face up nice and right. You got your exfoliator scrub. That's gonna open up your pores. You got your AM moisturizer with the SPM 20, which is gonna protect you from the sun. You also got your PM moisturizer, which is gonna make sure your skin is protected throughout the night. Teej has tons of reviews from dedicated customers across the world. I know I said a lot, but it's okay, because guess what? It comes with an instruction card to explain to you in detail what to do morning and night.
And because Teej is sponsoring this video, they're offering you an amazing deal. Just click the first link in the description to get 30% off your first skincare system and a free gift. Plus, as a member, you'll also get 20% off for life. By the way, both gifts you're choosing from are a $20 value and a complete game changer. A silicone body scrubber or a nail and face grooming kit. Personally, I prefer the silicone body scrubber. I don't like using towels when I travel, so the body scrubber is an excellent way to open up the pores and get the body clean. So don't wait any longer. Click the first link in the description to start your skincare journey today.
Regular ass water. What's going on, family? Welcome to King Tyler. Let me go ahead and introduce the crew. We got Mr. Marcus White, Trav Smooth, Swing, Darren McPherson, Biz, Nelson, Kenny P, me, myself, and Lapeef Jr. What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing?
What's going on?
Yo.
What's happening now? What's happening, fellas?
Excellent.
Peace to the fellowship.
Peace, brother. Good to see you guys, man. Got a great show ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get this housekeeping out the way before we start. Shout out to the sponsor, T. Henley, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. They got 40% off. That's 40% off with a free gift. You get 20% off for life if you become a member. That link is in the description. So make sure you guys go ahead and click it. It's not too late to get that Father's Day. It don't matter if it come late, just as long as you get it. So click that link and fill a teach. Also, we got the Assured Man King on top. This is your beard. If you want that beard to be nice and right for the summer and all year round, this is the route you want to go. It's a system. Go ahead and click that link. It's pinned to the top of the chat. Put in that promo code FATHER. That's capital F, capital A, capital T, capital H, capital E, capital R. Father, that's right. Gotta hold it down for the father. It's 15% off the entire order. So click that link that's pinned to the top of the chat and also in the description. Also want to thank the people that's going to be watching this on the replay. Hit that like button. Also make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the chat. I see Chicago Gorilla. So my mic sound like trash. Make sure my mic is hooked up. My mic sound like trash, y'all?
It sounds like you clipping.
Let's see. I don't know what that is. If I can try to correct that. Still clipping? Is it better? Okay. It could be because I'm turning my head. It's had a lot of feedback.
No,
I don't know.
you're straight.
I'm straight. I appreciate that, brother. Good looking out, brother. Got Angela Swift, Tay Foel, Dale Matthews, Shannon Duncan. You want to become part of Green Gang? That link is also in the description. We got Mr. Brian in the house. Excellent show ahead, man. Nelson, I had to bring you on for this one, man. This is it's a lot of like therapeutical type of dialogue tonight. So I want to make sure we be able to process this sensitive subject that we got aligned. So make sure you share your expertise. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Y'all ready to do this? Let's go, man. Let's go. Happy early Father's Day, just in case I don't see any of you gentlemen. Happy early Father's Day. Make sure y'all have a phenomenal day. Phenomenal day. Let me see. Turn your mic down, bro. JI music going live then. Oh, then I don't know what's going on, man. I'm just struggle streaming, I guess. What's going on, Sweeney?
What's going on, bro? I had no idea you had the show had started.
That's all good, man.
I get. I look at. I look at. Oh shit!
That's what we was doing. We're stalling, waiting for you.
My fault. My apologies for being tardy.
You all good, brother. You all good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and kick it off, man, with the main topic, and then we'll go ahead and just start dialing back. I got some videos that goes perfectly with the main topic, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. You guys don't know Michael Rainey Jr. He is the young man that played in Power. So I know a lot of people are familiar with him. When they see him, they can't help to call him Tyreek, right? But Mr. Michael Rainey Jr. was on a live stream, and he had something crazy happen, man. I didn't even catch. I had to keep watching and figure out what exactly happened. I was looking at him, and I looked at other people, and I didn't even realize that the young lady had slipped in and was being inappropriate, man. I'm not gonna be able to play the video, but social media reacts after Michael Rainey Jr. is inappropriately touched by Tylil, James' sister, during the live stream. Michael Rainey Jr. is to the right, and also he's right there in the middle with the white shirt on. If you look at his face is quite surprised. And if you are asking why and you are not familiar, it's because that young lady to the left, which is Tylil, James' sister, she inappropriately groped Michael Rainey Jr. I'm gonna kick it off with that, man. I have to be honest. There's a lot of people back in the day that were probably going to see nothing wrong with it. I mean, usually when somebody is touched, about a woman, I can only speak for myself and my experience and what I've seen. A lot of people, they didn't see nothing wrong with it. But fast forward to 2024, it probably might have kicked off it back then. Now people are starting to speak up, and this is a behavior that probably shouldn't be just passed by just because we are men. So I do want to go ahead and open it up just off of that, just to get some initial thoughts, and then I'll go ahead and just start peeling this back and diving a little bit deep into it. I'm gonna go ahead and start with you first, Hank. When you first seen this, what was your first impression?
Well, I think like you, I had to watch it a couple times, man, to see what I was looking at. And it's just unfortunate. The man was trying, I guess, doing one of his partners a solid by coming on his live stream, and his sister, grabbed him being a guest, grabbed his meat. And then the sad part about it, you got not only other people around, but you got two young ladies right there in front of him. So that's all bad, man. Look, if I was him, I'd put that heifer on paper. I would put that heifer on paper. Nothing against my boy. We still cool. Hopefully, after this is said and done and everything's all worked out. But I'm gonna put your sister on paper because a lesson's got to be learned. Things got to be lessons need to be taught, and for you to do something like this is totally uncalled for, man. Totally uncalled for. Yeah, I would definitely put that heifer on paper for that bullshit. Fuck her feelings, and if she lose her kids, that's on her.
All right, we'll go to you, brother Darwin. What are your thoughts about this, sir? When you first saw this, how did it make you feel? Think it's a big deal? Talk to me.
Well, I didn't see the video, but just looking at the image, it seemed like the girl probably got a history of touching him, maybe. Not history, I'm sorry. It looked like they got some type of relationship that's intimate. And it just looked like she did it. It looked like a wrong place, wrong time type of situation. And I think the reason why he looked like that, because obviously he was live streaming, and people in that position tend to try to protect their brand. They know how they could look, to an audience when something like that is going on live, and something inappropriate like that is taking place on live, when the audience is looking at your image and holding you to uh, a bar or a high standard or whatever, and it just didn't. It was just a wrong. It looked like, for me, I didn't see the video, but it looks like it was the wrong place, wrong time.
All right. I'm gonna see if I get that video for you, man, so you can kind of watch it, and then I'll come back to you and see if you got a second opinion. I'm gonna go to you. Yeah, I'm gonna go to you, Viz.
And just like the fella said, I did watch it. I tried to check it out maybe like 2 or 3 times, but I guess I just missed when she actually did it. But if anything, the only thing that I can say is that you a bold motherfucker to do that around your brothers. Um, I would hope and pray that my sisters would never have the thought process that doing something like that around me, or even people in general in public, is even acceptable. So that to me, that raises the question of her morality and shit, even her brothers. You know what I'm saying? For her to even feel comfortable to do that. But I think the best thing, and what I did see, was that he skated up out of there after that happened, and I think that was probably the best thing he can do or could have done, just because that opens up the door. That opens up the door for her to potentially say that he touched her, or whatever type of escalation, So I don't know. It's definitely a unfortunate situation. It happens a lot. Like Hink said, a lot of times we just sweep it under the rug, but I think that he should get that on paper, just because nowadays motherfuckers will come up with anything and it'll bite you in the tail. So I think that it's important for him to for sure get that documented.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Kenny P. Coming to you.
Well, I looked at it a couple of times, and the look on his face was like, I wasn't too sure that he took it that seriously. But then again, I listened to other people, and then I factored that in. Maybe he didn't want to overreact. Then I'm thinking, is he there with his peoples? Does he have like a sign? Because I'm guessing he's there with security, because he's a high profile person. Is there like a sign where he'd be like, this can't be? But
Kenny might have froze. All right. I'm gonna go to you, Trev, and then we'll come back to Kenny.
To Kenny's point, I think that the dude, I don't know about the security issue, because he be outside. I've seen him like messing around in the racing scene and all of that. He be outside, and I don't always see security detail. Kenny, you want to finish? If you will finish your point, you go ahead, bro.
oh yeah, sorry about that. My internet
You good?
janky right now, but I didn't see him highly offended. It probably, after that, he didn't want to mess up their show. He was more calculated. But I see a teachable moment. I wouldn't want to see that little young girl crash and burn. I would like to see a moment where he pull her in and they have a discussion about her behavior, because I can see how bad that goes. I don't know if she has kids or what have you. On the other end, I can see the double standard. You want equality, because if a man was to do that, that'd be a very bad look. And I could get what Hink is saying. So I'm kind of like on the fence to see what comes of it, because my POV, it needs to be a teachable moment. We need someone clinical in there, and that could be a discussion where Michael Rainey can actually be out there in another light as for teaching that this is not right and there's other ways of handling this, because she may have been over impulsive like a fan. Like you've seen girls throw panty on stage, grab up stars and do the wild stuff. Not saying it's acceptable, but I think more so it could be a teachable moment where, like, this is not cool. This is not acceptable. We need you to make a public apology and denounce what you did. And hopefully you could teach other women that, that's not okay. I digress.
I saw the video.
All right.
I saw the video. It was inappropriate, but I mean, I've been in situations like that before. I mean, I don't went out to nightclubs, and I mean, I just look like that guy. You know what I'm saying? I look like the deal. So women would sometimes come up to me and grope me and grab my balls. I mean, it's a woman, bro, and you have a status, and sometimes that happens to you. But you know, you got guys out here that don't usually get that kind of treatment or kind of interactions, so they kind of look at it as a something bad. I mean, it's just a woman being a woman, man. I know it's a double standard. It's a difference between a man and a woman. Yeah, it's inappropriate. But in these cases, women become inappropriate. And the higher the status you get, you're going to see more women become even more inappropriate. So it's not for the weak. You got some men out there that's might find this probably borderline sexual assault. You know what I'm saying? The physical touch, and they can't really take it. Can't really mentally get their heads around it. And they see that, they try to look at that, put the shoe on the other foot. Oh, if this happened to a woman, I mean, if a man did this, he would be in jail. But that's the double standard, and we recognize double standards. You just gotta stop being soft and stop being a pussy, and just let the woman know, hey, look, just don't touch me like that. It's just some women gonna do that.
Okay. We also got Real Talk. So it says, any handsome man know these women do this all the time. But
He's not wrong. Yeah, he's not wrong. This does happen. It's a violation, nevertheless, right? I hear what you're saying, Darwin, but I don't think that there should be a double standard. But at the same time, I don't think that she should be like, swing her from a tree now, right? It's someone did mention teachable moment, and I think it should be just that. It is a violation, though, and some people, it's going to make them feel very uncomfortable if they weren't brought up like that. If this isn't, they're not of that culture, then it's a violation, right? So we have to treat it as such, and it technically is by today's standards. It would be SA. That's just the truth. It's a bad thing. I wish we had a little more context, because I don't know if he didn't know her at all and she was just like being a fan and then did that, because that's extremely wild if that's the case. But I don't know what the dynamic of the relationship is. I don't know if he ever dealt with her at another occasion or flirted with her, and maybe she just may have took that as like, oh, okay, it's a go. We don't know. At least I don't know. So if we had more context, we'd be able to make a better assessment on it. But regardless of what is absolutely inappropriate to do that in front of what appeared to be children to me, in front of them, or in front of anyone, and you're online. It's just certain things you just don't do online. It's unacceptable. You don't do that for the world to see. Whatever you're doing, you do that in private, because now being just something that he could just talk to you about. Now it's an incident that the world is looking at. And you have to understand that, even if you don't have that much status, you have to understand the status he brings. And you have to be better than that, because now everyone's going to be looking at you like, what the hell are you doing? And it is plural. It is what it is. But females very comfortable doing that because they think that we welcome it. They think what we all want to do. Like they feel like we're some sex crazed maniacs as men, and everything is a go, and we're probably gay if we don't succumb to their advances. That's how sometimes women are, and they just have that sense of entitlement, and we have to teach them better than that, right? And that has happened to me personally, where people just came up to me and just grabbed the jewels. That's just what they do sometimes, and they'll come out of nowhere, and you'll be like, "Yo," and it's awkward, it's uncomfortable. You're like, "Damn," but then you don't want to blow up. And me as a man, I can't play like a woman. I'm sitting there and I'm trying to be manly about it. And you're like, damn, okay, I don't want to make a scene. You're trying to spare the woman, even though she's straight violating you. A lot of times we're trying to spare the woman. We try not to embarrass her. We're not going to like smack her hand away. We're just going to be like, yo, chill. Like, we try not to make a scene. We're really considering a woman even as we're being violated, which is crazy because women aren't expected to do that. But us as men, we like, they're like, oh, damn, why you making a big deal out of it? She just touched you. So what? I mean, listen, at this point, I understand there are double standards, but we can't even play like that no more because women are screaming for equality right now. So it is what it is. You're going to have to be held accountable just as we are.
Hey, and they setting folks up. Can't leave that part out. That's opening the door for boy.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the degree of the degree of acceptance might depend on what she looked like and your relationship status. So like if I'm a single dude out here and the woman is just gorgeous and she groped me versus somebody just disgusting looking, I think the interaction would be different. I'm willing to go on the record and say
she's ugly, but it's okay if she's fine.
yeah, I'm willing to go on the record and say, look,
Craziest damn thing I ever heard in my life.
Hey,
it's crazy, but
that's that double standard.
I'm just probably be the one
that's not a double standard. That's just straight up crazy. That's not a double standard. That's just ridiculous.
Hey, that's
so you saying you don't think the interaction would be different if the woman was beautiful?
The interaction should not be different. You saying that the interaction is different depending on whether the girl is fine or not. So if she's fine, so no, what I'm saying is, so if she's fine, she get a pass. But if she's ugly, you calling the police on her.
No, listen, I agree with you, Sweeney, that the interaction shouldn't be different. But what I'm saying is, in reality, it is different. I get it. It shouldn't be different.
Why is it different?
Because of that's what I'm saying.
Because of people like you who let shit like that slide and call a nigga soft.
No, you trying to put it on me. I'm talking about.
No, you said it. You said, hey man, some niggas is just soft these days. If a girl come up and grope you and you feel some type of way about it, you just a soft ass nigga.
Well, yeah, some guys is soft.
Why would they? Why? So Michael Rainey came out and said that he felt like he was sexually assaulted. So he's soft now.
Did he say that?
Yes.
Okay, well then I just said
by your definition, he's soft.
I said some guys just can't take that mentally.
No, I think that it was necessary for him to do that because he's not just being 100.
Why can't we take him at his word? Why can't we just take the man at his word?
I'm saying I agree. He was.
Why are we giving him instead of just straight up saying that's what it was? He felt he was sexually assaulted. He came out and said he was sexually assaulted, and we on this panel. Well, Darwin on this panel saying the nigga soft.
I said some guys. I didn't say he specifically was soft. I just said some guys.
No, you didn't say specifically him, but you said that dudes who feel some type of way about that ain't never had bitches before, ain't never had that type of pull where a chick come up and grab your nuts and all of that. And some niggas just need to nut up and shut up.
Sometimes you just gotta flip them off. If you got enough confidence, well, you got to know what do you.
It's not confidence for somebody to walk up on you.
You say you got enough XP. You know how to deal with it.
What is this, man? Come on, bro.
Yes,
I guarantee you
no,
that.
what happened to your goddamn standards, man? No, what happened to your goddamn standards, man? You ain't got no goddamn standards. You wavering, man.
No, I ain't wavering.
You are. You making exceptions right now.
You
ain't being real. No, you are. Let me take that back. You are being spineless right now. And I got to treat you like I did Arcane the other night. This is some bullshit.
Just because I got a different opinion on me, y'all gotta fight me on it. That's why.
Sometimes some of
she's a nice looking woman.
That's how people get on here. That's why people get on here. They always want to be ugly. You know, now she's a goddamn. I'm not gonna agree with the mask on me. Y'all gotta attack me.
What you don't understand, Bruce, the reason why things like this exist is because of people like you.
No, it ain't because.
Wait. Let me finish. Because you just sat here and said that niggas who ain't used to this type of shit is par for the course. If you that nigga, man, some chicks just come up and grab your nuts, and if you can't take it, get the fuck out the kitchen. That's how niggas get sexually assaulted.
Let me give you some context. What I mean by if you can't take it, well, you can't handle it. I meant like if you don't know how to deal with it. If it gets to you mentally to a point where it breaks you down, where you can't handle it. If that context,
what does that even mean?
I'm saying, like, if you're caught in this situation,
it breaks you down.
You gotta tool that out. What does that mean for a motherfucker to be mentally broken down from being sexually assaulted and he can't handle it? Walk that down for me.
Well, I'm saying if somebody touch you inappropriately, if you've had experience getting touched inappropriately, you know how to handle it a little more better. It being your first time going out there and
answer my question. What does it look like to not be able to handle a motherfucker sexually assaulting you? What is that?
Okay, so
what does it look like?
So first of all, I said it was borderline sexual assault.
No, it is sexual assault. That ain't borderline. A mother come up and grab your dick in front of a bunch of kids. That's sexual assault. She can do that shit in private and it's sexual assault. That's straight up sexual assault. Somebody come up and grab your dick without your consent. That's sexual assault. Is not borderline. So walk it down for me and tell me, what does it mean to be able to handle that properly?
Well,
or not handle it
if you want to handle it properly, you just fight them off.
What? Come on. Bro, I'm trying to save you out here, bro. Come
hold that thought, man. Hold that thought. Let me go to Marcus.
Somebody else get in there though.
Let me go Marcus and then we'll go to Nelson.
Y'all hilarious. I'm embarrassed to admit this, but my mind state is kind of the same as Bruiser's when it comes to this.
That's
and I know it's not right.
I done been
Come on, Marcus. God damn.
Hold on. Let me just say. Let me just say. I know it's not right. Right. I completely understand it's not right, but I would be lying to pretend that when I was thinking to myself, like when men say the difference between them being a weird creep and them having game is the woman being attracted to you. I think it's the exact same thing when it comes to that groping thing, because I've been in a club and that shit has happened a lot of times. And I would be lying if I say I didn't feel an ego boost, like, yeah, I'm just him when it happened. That's the feeling you get. Now, is it right? No, nobody should be touching you. And it is a crime, right? But in real time, if you find a woman attractive and she do that, it kind of makes you feel good. And it shouldn't. It shouldn't, but it does. Like I'm just speaking to reality. I for the record, I'm saying this is wrong. This should not be occurring, right? But I would be lying if I pretended like when it happened, that's how I responded to it when it wasn't. And we had a conversation about this a long time ago. We were saying, if you go to the police and tell them that she did that to you, they'll laugh you out the station. Do y'all remember that conversation? We were saying they'll laugh you out the station, and that don't make it right. Right.
Marcus,
now,
did you laugh them out the
if I flip it and add another aspect to it, like I see somebody in the chat said, what if it was like Sydney Starr? Yeah, that motherfucker need to go to jail. Like, they need to go to jail.
No, let's walk this down. So if a woman sexually assaulted me and I came to you, Marcus, you the police, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, bro, man, I was just sexually assaulted by this woman. Mm-hmm. You gonna laugh me out the room?
I'm not, but I'm saying that's the feeling that I thought would happen. Like
Okay,
I wouldn't
so
do it. I would
Marcus,
take if you felt strong enough to come to the station and file it, I would treat that just how I would treat a woman feeling the thing. But I'd be
okay,
lying if I say culturally or at least amongst circles of your guys. If you got like say y'all on a car ride back home and y'all like, man, Joe, they was on me. Shorty came up and groped me. It wouldn't be something that you said to the other guys typically in a way that you were like depressed about it. It would be
The reason why the problem is y'all don't understand the reason why the stigma is there is because of this attitude towards men being SA. That we laugh them out the room. That's the reason why we're where we are today. Where no,
I wasn't saying that I would laugh him out the room. I'm saying that is the perception.
Culture. Yes, the culture is the reason why. And to wrap it back around to what Bruiser said, when he say, "Hey man, sometimes you just need to nut up." That's
I didn't say any of that.
I know you're not. I'm just saying that's part of the problem. Because we shouldn't be telling somebody who came, like he came out and said he felt like he was sexually assaulted. There should be no laughter, no nothing. It should be straight up, hey, she need like Hank said, you need to put papers on her. And we should be able to advocate for that. He shouldn't be getting called soft or whatever because he felt like he was sexually assaulted. Now, granted, if you personally, if some chick come up and grab you and you feel like you the man, that's your own personal decision. The problem is when somebody actually don't like it, we'll laugh them out the room.
And that's why I gave you. That's why I clearly stated. I said we're not arguing that it should be inappropriate or inappropriate. I was just giving you details behind layers. Like for example, the way you worded your question with Marcus. If you just came to him and say, "Look, I was sexually assaulted by a woman," he probably think that you were head down against your will, and she took it. But if you would have came to him with the same question, like, "Look, hey, that's fine. Joining the club, walked up to me and grabbed me by my balls."
Next question would be what you do.
I'm like, did you smash?
Yeah, that would be my next question.
Hold on, wait. I come to you and I say, hold on. I come to you and I say, some chick at the club just grabbed me by my balls.
You intentionally phrased it as, man, I just was sexually assaulted by it. And anybody who hear it like that is gonna think that you were held against your will and they took it from you.
Why does it have to be held against my will? Why is it? I can't.
Because the way you phrase things matters.
Right. If I phrase it like Marcus, I was at the club and this chick just grabbed me by my dick.
If you say you didn't like it, then I'd be like, what you want to do?
It don't hold the same weight.
You got to add that I didn't like it.
Why doesn't have to? Why can't it hold the same weight? That's the problem.
No, if you add I didn't like it, then I'd be like, yeah, that's some bullshit, bro.
Y'all not understanding why it's the problem. The fact that y'all have to add all these qualifiers to it is initially the problem.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying I'd be lying if I pretended like that was my reaction when that stuff used to happen. Because technically it happened a decent amount. Like when you out in the club, they will walk by in groups, and one of them in the group would do that, and then they'll like give you eye contact, and that's like the sign to kind of get to it. But you know what kind of changed my opinion on this? For real? Yeah, it's a movie called Baby Reindeer. I don't know if y'all ever seen that.
I've seen this.
It's about a woman stalking a man.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman held him against the wall. And the way that affected him was the same way as
just because he didn't want to,
assault. So I know that that's a real thing. I don't know if it was the mentality that I was raised with, the way I just thought about that, but that wasn't my response. But in the response that he had, he 100% needed to press charges. And maybe I should have too, but I just let it go. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, so like what I want people to understand too is it's just about your upbringing. Because I was brought up the same way Marcus and Darwin was brought up. You know, we was in the mall trying to see how many numbers we can get. If Sweeney said some girl grabbed him and he said he didn't like it, we probably would have been like, man, but you don't like women. That's probably the conclusion we would have came to. I don't think it was till we got older we started realizing that people were actually being touched inappropriate, or we started understanding how inappropriate it was. Like me, like when people say they were stalked, I'm like, oh man, that shit ain't too bad. But once I got stalked, I'm like, I don't like this. Like I couldn't even dial out because the woman was calling so damn much, and I'm like, I don't like this at all. Ain't nothing cute about this. This ain't cool. Like I was calling AT&T trying to figure out if I can just block them from calling me, or can I block anonymous numbers, because it was just crazy, just popping up the whole nine. So it is a problem, Sweeney.
it is a problem, and I think we are becoming a little bit more aware as we move forward, and people are actually speaking up about it. But back in the day when we was growing up, if a woman that you liked touched you, you was trying to see what's up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think Viz hit it
Yeah,
right on
we
the nail.
not
This shit
kids no more.
this
No.
shit happen on
That's the
live.
difference. You talk about
So if this
young
don't happen on
adolescents.
live, if this don't
Talking
happen on
about
live,
goddamn kids.
this shit don't get
He's a
reported.
grown
Ain't
ass
nothing
man.
going on.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that was
he's
so crazy as hell.
he's a grown man.
Y'all fuck the conversation up with the bullshit. Look here, man. That's a goddamn grown ass man. Now, as kids, I understand we talk about kids because we thought like child, we move like kids. But now we know better. We need to do better. So why are we gonna sit there and accept that bullshit? Now, Darwin, what if that motherfucking dude came and strapped up and grabbed you by your shit? I bet your ass be ready to fight the motherfucker. That's what I said. Yeah,
Oh, come on,
you'd
man.
be ready to fight him, wouldn't you? Unless you're getting turned the
We
fuck
talking
on.
about a dude, bro. We talking
Yeah,
about a
that's-
woman
that's
groping you. You gonna switch it to a dude?
No, why
Man,
ain't you got the same
and who
confidence?
it is.
Why ain't you got the same confidence?
Why would you have
Come
the same
on, why
confidence?
ain't you got the same confidence?
Why would you?
No,
Why would
you
you?
the man, bro. You like even
But y'all
niggas
ain't
like
making
you,
sense,
bro. You
man.
the
I don't
man,
know.
bro.
JR broke
Okay,
it down
let's
to
make
you.
it
man,
make
homie.
sense.
In
You
white
the
over there.
man,
Y'all
bro.
don't get it, bro.
Hank
You
made
the man,
Hank made
homie.
a great point. Sydney Star is not considered a man anymore. It's considered a female.
Man, that's a man.
To who?
Okay,
To
so
who?
let me walk with me on this one. We went over all the genders. Sydney Star in this day and time is considered a female. Marcus made it so that it's okay, but if it was Sydney Star, it would be a problem. Yes.
So I didn't make it. That was okay. I said I actually had an so Sydney Star was at the club one day and tried to hit on me and my homeboy. I had no clue who it was. To my other boy tapped me. It was like, bro, that's. I was mad. There was no interaction, no touching. I just like, why the fuck would he even come over here and talk to me? Like, do we think we going? You know what I'm saying? And my other homeboy was laughing. Huh?
So Marcus, wait, if you didn't get the heads up,
It was going down.
You had to fuck around and find out.
He was on no mode. He would have felt like the man at the club, y'all. He was the man in the building.
No,
he would have been.
no, it's wrong.
He was a joke later on. Then he'd have been
That shit wouldn't have been no joke. If Sydney Star would have touched me, that shit would have been no joke to me. Then
I understand where you would have took it, but the dynamic is it shows that your vitriol is conditional.
Of course,
I don't want to be touched by a man.
So why wouldn't your ego? Why isn't your ego transparent across the board?
Man,
Because I got a double standard. I don't believe men and women are the same nor equal. That's never been my statement. I'll go on record right now. I do not believe men and women are equal, and I hold different standards for men than I do for women. That's just me.
Okay, but
Same here.
I'm going with today's standards.
I don't
no longer considered a
You trying
woman.
to push today's standards on us?
I don't believe in that. They can do what they want.
So, Darwin, am I saying something that is incorrect per today's standards? And you were in a workplace, are you supposed to call Sydney Star a man or a woman?
You supposed to call her by how she identified.
You just don't want to say woman, right?
All right. If I had to call her a woman, and then I would call her a ma'am.
So why was my statement so far-fetched? You would never call Sydney Star a man in a workplace. So now today's standards,
because then I could probably lose my job, my job.
So your vitriol is conditional.
Absolutely. Because if I was out on the streets and I knew that was a man, I would say, "What up, bro?" If I knew that was a man.
Okay.
But if I don't know, like I think Marcus,
what you said,
Marcus, when you first saw the gentleman, the lady, whatever, you probably thought she was a woman at first, right? So
yeah,
I
thought that person was a
woman. But if once you find out she's a man, you can continue to be deceived. It's your choice at that end.
Wait. You said you thought she was a woman?
I did.
All right, so hold on, wait.
So I mean, he looked at her like a woman.
So that means if she would have came up and touched you, you would have been down. And then later on, you'd have been the butt of the jokes. Because all your homeboys would have been like, hey, you know, when you sit over there smiling and cheesing and shit, when old girl grabbed your dick because you the man, homie. Hey, you know that was a man,
Yeah,
homie.
you would have been the butt of
You
the
would
joke. I've
you would have
seen
been
that
up in there
Yeah,
happen,
but
talking
bro. It's not a good
he would have
feeling.
known from them big ass hands.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
see
like,
if you can see the Adam's apple and the hands and all that shit, you could pretty much figure it out.
Okay.
But we live in a world where it's becoming a
She would
little
have
bit
took the
harder.
shit out of you like a basketball, Marcus.
Okay. I
Man,
was
well,
going
at
Hold
the end of
tight.
the day,
Hold tight. I want to play it. Lil Ty, well, not Lil Ty, but Tylil's response to the incident. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get to Nelson.
My mother, I'm trying to literally ignore this shit, but I'm getting texts. The energy shifted and got up and left. Like all that really made me like older side really made me feel away. Because one, when people come, this is your crib. It's about hospitality. That means everything. Stop telling me to ignore it. Because when I was trying to ignore it, y'all brothers was spamming it. That really got me really feeling away because, bro, I be around celebrities all day. You feel what I'm saying? Like even when I first started being my first few celebrities, don't get me wrong, I do unusual shit. No homo, like nothing crazy. Like I'll be like, yo, like I be trying to record, get a video, a picture, whatever. But due time, you feel what I'm saying? That shit don't really mean nothing to you. We all equal, we all the same. But she never seen somebody that caliber, so she start, you feel what I'm saying? And that's my sister, so like I'm not gonna say nothing bad about her. I'm gonna just check and tell her like you don't gotta be on it. We all the same, we all human. If he's here for me, he's here for you. Family Sunday dinner every Sunday. You feel what I'm saying? I got people telling me you gotta be aware who you have around when these type of people come. Why should I? We all equal. You feel what I'm saying? It's gonna be. We all got a mutual agreement, and it's about respect. Got me dumb mad, bro. Like I'm yo, nothing ever got me more mad than this, bro.
All right, so that was Tylil's little response, his initial response directly after it happened. I'm gonna go to you, Nelson. What are your thoughts about the whole situation and what the gentlemen have been discussing?
Yeah, I'm kind of in line with what you originally said. In terms of legally, I think he should be afforded all the rights that women have when it comes to if he decided to file charges. It should be tried exactly as it would if the roles were reversed. Definitely to that. But upbringing does matter, and it matters in a sense of how he was impacted by what happened. So, traditionally with women in issues like this, it's traumatizing because there's also a component where there's the sense of power taking to where women can feel helpless, feel overpowered, and that there's nothing that they could do to stop it, even if they wanted to. Is for men, a lot of times it's not, that may not be the case because men typically are stronger. So they have the ability to stop it if they chose to. So there is that component to it. But in his case, if when she did that, he felt a sense of like a loss, if he felt helpless, if he felt like he lost his sense of power, if it impacted him to where he felt like he was violated, then he should 100% be able to, press charges or do whatever he's got to do. I'm just not a fan of like trying people in the court of public opinion because you see the way our society is going. We're fickle. We change what our stance on what's morally right and morally wrong too much to be able to have a solid, firm stance on this. So for some men, this is a rite of passage. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. For other men that have kind of grown up a different way and grown up with like my body, my choice, and like don't touch me if I boundaries and things like that. If they see it as a violation, then they got to be able to. They got to have the same rights that women have in that circumstance. So I'm interested in how he perceived what happened to him, how he took it, and what he wanted to do as a result of it.
I just want to say something real quick. So a lot of people are not taking into consideration, like, all right, let's say this woman, I don't think this is the first time that she's ever done that to a man in her life, right? And I feel like if any other time that she's ever tried that in her life, the reception was probably completely different. Like most men don't get action like that. So if a female comes up to you and grabs you like that, I feel like most men in general, right? Not to say this is right, but I feel like most men in general would welcome that, right? And they'd be like, oh, it's popping now, right? It's up, because men don't typically get action like that. Your average dude is not just getting people running around groping them. That's just not how it goes. So he already know it's go time. He's gonna get rid of all of the hoopla, get right to it. He know he don't have to put forth but minimal effort, because he know what time it is. He don't have to worry about running game. He don't have to worry about nothing. So in most cases, I think most men would unfortunately welcome it. And she probably think that's a go. And what he said kind of resonated with me, how he's saying, oh, just everybody, like, they like regular people. Why should I have to tell them to be different? So she's not even, if she's thinking on that same, if that's her line of thinking right there, then she probably think that she can get away with the same thing, even though he's a celebrity, he's just a guy, just like everybody else. So I can go ahead and grope this man, and I'm going to get the same type of reaction that I normally get. It's go time. I'm going to get right to it. And when he done, as soon as he off camera, he's going to come to me and do what it do. So that's probably her thinking process. That's why I would say for sure this should be a teaching moment where you let her know, like, yo, this is not cool. You can't do that. Unfortunately, it happened in front of the world. So now she's going to probably suffer bigger consequences, even if it's just a sheer embarrassment of it. That's what it's going to be. But like Sweeney's saying, it's because men generally don't reject this type of behavior that it's become, or has I don't really think of a time where this wasn't socially acceptable for women to do that. It's just like right now, people are hypersensitive to everything, right? Since we went through 2019 inside, now we just all hypersensitive and we feel like we have to do something about everything. But before that, stuff like that was nothing. I don't know if y'all remember, like as kids, we did the whole catch a girl, get a girl type deal and all of that. That was like regular, right? Yep. This is what the culture always was. Not right, but it's what we've been used to. JR, you mentioned it. It's how we grew up, and that's what the culture teaches us. Like this is cool. And I promise you, she probably never been rejected in her life by doing that. So she didn't think this was going to be any different.
Hey, Trev, just to double down on what you're saying.
The thing about it is, though, you have situations where's the consequence? There's no consequences. But you got some guys, Darwin, who wants to hold a woman accountable because of behavior, how she acts, how she moves, the decisions she makes on and whether raise a child with a father or not. You have consequences for that bullshit, but you ain't gonna have enough for her sexually assaulting the young man, because he's supposed to accept it, and he's soft if he goes to report it or have something to say. Come on, man, that's some bullshit now.
So I'll go on the record and say, just to double down on what you said, Trev, a lot of it used to be a thing. You know what I'm saying? I think when feminism hit, it kind of made a group of men have resentment for the double standards that we do have. Like, okay, now that y'all motherfuckers want to be equal, now that y'all want to be on an equal field and still have the family court laws and all this other shit, anytime you do anything against us, we gonna hold you to it. Versus whenever things wasn't so equal, it wasn't a problem. So it's more like a resentment from women wanting to be equal. And then the response to that is, don't ever do some shit that we can get in trouble for, because we're going to hold you to that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. And it's just a lot of guys are not. You got guys out here that don't. So
what proof do you have of this?
Huh?
It was because of feminism that men who get sexually assaulted, just like, there's always been instances where men, that's why we already said the whole running joke of you'll get laughed out the room if you go and tell the police that something happened to you. That ain't happened because of feminism. It was because of us.
I'm talking about this particular situation right here.
Well, this particular situation has happened dozens of times, and it comes down to the same thing. We get on the panel, we say, well, that's par for the course. And then it happens again, and that's par for the course. When it happened to Kevin Gates and he donkey kicked the shit out of that girl, we all got on this panel, and it's par for the course. I mean, it just happens, you know? This has always been a thing. This has always been a conversation, even before feminism. Motherfuckers who don't want to be touched shouldn't have to get touched.
Well, I just think
Didn't
I think
ask for
I
it.
think
Unless
men just got. I think it's a matter of men being men again, and allowing women to be women again. And the more we try to attack the double standards,
well, you do know what occurs more: women out here just groping men, or men just groping women when they find or whatever, and they grab them and all of that. Which one is more common? Just
Men getting groped
listen,
by
I don't know
women.
how to quantify whether it's more
men
common.
getting groped by women is more common than women getting groped by men.
Listen, I don't know how to quantify which one happens more common. But what I will say, given the disparity between men not having to have sex, I'm willing to go on the record and say most men would be okay with women being intentional about who they want to have sex with to kind of ease the disparity.
When
And
a
they
man
would
is
know.
intentional about
Hold
having
on.
sex, hold on,
And
wait.
they would.
Because
And they would know.
you're conflating two things. When a man is
You
intentional
gotta let me
about,
finish
hold
what
on,
I'm
wait.
saying, bro.
I want to make sure that this is on record. When a man is intentional with wanting to be with a woman, does he just go up and grab her ass and say, "I want you"?
No, because she'd be a battered woman in the court issue.
All right. So why is it so?
To
So a man
Nelson's
knows how.
point,
So a man
to
knows how to
Nelson's
show.
point, a man
So a
being
man knows how to show
oh, man.
intention. I'm going somewhere. So a man knows how to show intentions with a woman without fucking sexually assaulting her. But a woman don't know how to show intentions without essaying him.
I didn't say she didn't know how to show it. What I'm saying is there's a difference in strength whenever it comes to the male and the female. And whenever you face with a
Can
court
men
case,
knock women the fuck out when they do shit? When women act up, can a man knock her the fuck out and it be okay?
I mean, yeah, he probably could, but I'm
No,
just saying.
can he in society will
can't.
he be
If he
able to
just
knock her the fuck out without experiencing some type of repercussion, as in motherfuckers run
Listen,
up and beat his ass when he go to jail?
I'm not gonna argue on balance. I get it. You want everything to be balanced
So
across the board.
I'm questioning your logic. If you're saying
My logic is based off of biology.
No, your logic is that men are strong, so we have more power. Where in those moments, men are rendered powerless because they can't do shit. A man can't knock her the fuck out in the streets because she essayed him.
Why can't he?
Because we'll knock him the fuck out. And
So if you saw me and I knock, hold on, let me just follow you. Let me keep there. I'm gonna do like Kenny. I'm not gonna let you get away from that.
Go ahead.
So if this woman essayed me, Sweeney, and I knocked her the fuck out, you gonna knock me out. All right, then.
Hold on, wait, no. Let's pose this for the panel. Hold on, wait. Let's pose this for the panel,
said, bro.
Fellas, hold on. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I probably would knock you the fuck out. Hey, I'm just answering your question. Now, fellas on the panel, if you saw a man knock a woman the fuck out just because she grabbed his dick, what are y'all doing?
I'm gonna grab him. Her age, because that's the social contract how men conduct themselves. The social contract says you have to get a woman from harm. She may have done that, and in your mind, I can't speak for everyone. My POV is her grabbing his Johnson wasn't an act so heinous as for knocking her out, because we have this strength, as Bruiser say, with one blow we can kill a woman. More so a man could withstand that blow better than a woman could. So that would be like
basically
an egregious act.
Right. So
and the need for you to want to be balanced with a female has gotten so out of hand.
It's not.
We can't be men anymore. We have to. This gender neutral thing.
Growth in public is being a man.
No, what you missing the whole point.
Being groped without your consent is part of manhood. That's par for the course.
A man should be able to handle himself if he's groped. And I'm gonna stand on it.
What does that look like?
You know how he should handle himself? By putting our ass on paper. That's how he should handle himself, like a man. I'm not gonna hit her back. I'm not gonna strike her.
Listen,
I'm gonna go down to the jailhouse and I'm gonna put her ass on paper. That's how you handle it like a man.
Twisted. I'm not discounting that you can't take. I'm not discounting any man for taking legal action. What I'm saying is physically, a man should be able to help himself. He should be able to hold her off. And I'm gonna stand on that because I believe men and women are different, and nobody gonna hit. Even if
he already grabbed you,
it's not making
sense. She already grabbed you. They gonna hold her off.
So, I think it's one thing Nelson brought up that we may not be taking into account, which may make this make more sense: the power dynamic. So, because we're physically stronger, there's a power dynamic. The same way as if you have a boss who's in charge of you, that's a female, you wouldn't technically view that as her taking advantage of you in a relationship with power dynamic unless you use that power to leverage it against you. So it's a weird way the power dynamics. That might have been a bad example, but it's a weird way that the power dynamics work in that play.
This is why.
This is like break
this
that
is why I'm
down.
questioning y'all logic.
When I'm
This
picking
is
up
why
what it is.
This is why I'm questioning y'all logic on power dynamic, because in that situation, if he can't knock her the fuck out when she gropes him, he has no power.
If he does knock her out, if he knocks her out and he gets arrested, do you think it would hold up in court if he used self-defense as?
Absolutely not. They would laugh him out of court just like they would have laughed him out the police station had he went up and told him that he was SA. They would have laughed at him and they would have said, "Going to jail for knocking a woman out," which renders him powerless. He has no power.
That judge will be taken off of the bench.
No, he won't, because of people like you.
And today, in 2024,
no, he won't, because of people like you. He would not.
2024.
No, because of people like you.
First of all, nobody would have came to her defense. We in society now, everybody takes their phone out and just hits record. If they go to court for something like that and it's on film what happened, and he says it was self-defense because I was being assaulted, there's no way in the world that now the double standard is going to come into play and they're going to be like, no, you're going to jail anyway because it's
2024, bro. That shit going down. She going down.
That equality movement goes.
Is Kevin Gates not fighting the charge for donkey kicking the shit out of a girl who touched him, even though he asked her to stop and then she did it again and then he donkey kicked her and that nigga is facing charges right now?
What's the end result of the charges?
I have no idea. I think he still might be facing, or he may have faced some form of consequence.
So hold tight real quick. Let me go ahead. Hold tight. Let me go ahead and fill this apology. Well, he acknowledged what happened. He said at this point, everyone has seen the video circulating online. I am still in shock and don't fully know how to process what happened last night. This is an unfortunate situation that I do not condone in any way. I can't take it lightly because I know I would be in serious trouble if the roles were reversed. The fact is, sexual assault is never okay, regardless of gender or status. We're all human and we should respect each other. Most importantly, we should always respect ourselves. So that's Michael's response.
That's his PR.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think she disrespected herself more or him more?
For context, while performing on stage at an event in Lakeland, Florida back in 2015, the rapper was charged with battery for kicking a fan in the face. The next October, he was convicted and sentenced to 180 days of jail.
Do you think that she disrespected herself more or him more by doing that?
Her.
She disrespected herself.
Herself as a woman. A woman should always be in her feminine. A woman is supposed to conduct herself regally. She's no longer a little girl. She's cognizant of what she is doing. It was premeditated when she made it to the point of getting to him and whispering whatever she whispered in his ear while holding his genitalia. But here's the thing. That's his PR statement. They did a great job as for writing that up and showing that, okay, we can decide where we want to go with this. I don't know if it's going to be the money play and they settle out depending on what's there to be had, or they can see what can be worked out behind the scenes. But all the chess pieces are not automatically was in his favor. He also protected himself so that the story couldn't be discerned in any other way but him being a victim, which was smart.
Plot twist. He was
hit that early.
What he did. What he gonna get from that half a goddamn EBT card? The bitch ain't got no goddamn money.
Yeah,
she broke. She was early in the house. She ain't got shit. What you gonna get from her?
That little young man whose her brother has bread.
Okay, now is he gonna flip that bill? Is he gonna flip that bill?
Let me get it off, Hank. Him and the little one, Kai Sanat, and them, he's not as big as Kai Sanat, but he got a bag.
So he gonna flip that bill for his sister then.
Would you?
I'm gonna give you an example.
I wouldn't.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna give you an example.
Damn.
Wait. Floyd's entourage comes in. You bump into one of those big 19-foot dudes, and one of them slug you upside the head. Who you suing?
That's
You gonna
different.
sue-
They
That's
work.
contracted
They work.
to
No,
Floyd, dog.
it's relative to what I'm saying.
Floyd,
He's
Floyd will
they're
be
contracted with Floyd. I'm a sue Floyd. They're
Yeah,
contracted.
that's completely different.
But it's
No,
the
it's
same thing.
not.
It's the same thing in this scenario because
No,
he
it's
hold on
not.
wait, let me understand.
It's
Because he
completely
brought
Unless
his
she works
sister
for her
in.
company, unless she works for her company, what does she got to do with anything? She the way his sounds like she was just a guest in the house.
That's what academics going through right now. I think if you're in charge of the home, like if somebody, like say I come in your house and I get injured while inside your house, you'll be held liable
So your
You're
because
insurance.
it
culpable.
occurred under your
You're
property.
Yeah,
culpable.
this your
Yeah, you're
insurance.
culpable
Yeah.
for what's going
So they're
on.
gonna go after the man that was streaming.
I got another question
Would
for
you
y'all.
call him soft if he sued old boy and won?
You have me. Wait. You have me. Okay, I'll answer that in a second.
Hell
You
yeah.
have me. You
You
invite
damn
me
right I'm gonna call
to.
him soft.
You
Why?
invite me to an environment where I'm supposed to be safe. I'm a high-profile celebrity. It's supposed to be red carpet, bells and whistles. I'm coming here to promote your channel, your stream, whatever. If something happens to me, who is culpable? I'm on your watch.
With Kenny, you remember what Darwin said to you? He would let that white boy whoop your ass. Remember that?
That ain't
And
got
watch
nothing to do
this.
with nothing of this.
May I finish? You heard what you just
He
said,
said,
Hink?
"Go let that white boy whoop your ass."
Wait, Hink. You heard what you just said? Exactly. So if I'm in his house and I'm gonna answer Sweeney question, I have a decision to make. You invited me in your house, and no matter what happened, I could easily said the environment was no longer safe. This could have been a setup.
Yeah, you could.
You
So
would call,
You could
let me
even
And
question you about
wait.
this.
Let me add
you
context
could
and I
even
give
say
it
you
to
were
you.
jumped by everybody else in there.
And now
It's all about what you can prove in court at that point.
I'm in front of the lawyer with one of those neck braces and a crutch.
It's all about what you can prove in court.
Hey, no, I got a question to y'all about consent though.
It's still
So-
not a
hold
solid.
on, Marcus, before you ask your question. So here's the crazy part. Everything that y'all just illustrated is the reason why there actually is no power dynamic. That he was even in that situation, he was rendered powerless. He was powerless. Even in Kevin Gates' situation, I just told y'all he was sentenced to 180 days in jail. Did he serve all the time? I don't know. Maybe he got off on good behavior. But he had to fight, pay money, pay an attorney, and still got sentenced and charged. Now he has a charge and a conviction on his record for defending himself against SA. That's pretty much renders a man powerless.
Let me tell
He
you
has no
something.
power.
Freeman. It's if somebody broke in my house right now and they slipped on fucking wet floor and broke their ribs, I would be sued. If somebody broke in my house right now and not beat the shit out of him and broke the fucking jaw, I can be sued and I would lose.
So that renders you powerless.
So no,
You
Sweeney,
can call
let
it
me
whatever you
say
want.
this.
You can
No,
call
So
it
you're
whatever you want.
powerless.
How
No,
you
here's how the power dynamic work. Here go how the power dynamic work. If somebody break in my house and I hold them at gunpoint and I don't kill them, I don't feel powerless because I didn't enact the action that I could. It's the same as like when I be on the panel. If I couldn't defend myself and I just let stuff go, I would feel powerless. But because I couldn't defend myself and I just let it go because I'm being a bigger person, I never feel powerless. So I think like that's what we saying with the
Well,
power.
in this particular situation, then it's your second example. You can't do anything about it. There is nothing. You can't knock her the fuck out, and then in the courtroom gonna laugh you out the room. The police gonna laugh you out the room, and pretty much everybody's saying it's par for the course. Then you're powerless.
I think, was he being charged for hitting her or because there's also a thing called escalation of conflict.
He kicked her and
So
he got
if-
charged for kicking her.
I got to look at it, but
He got charged for kicking her.
It's hard to you're arguing a legal basis there, like because you know a judge is going to look at if the response was proportional to the offense.
Thank you.
So like there's a whole lot of context
do
we're
the
missing
police
inside there.
all the
That's why
time.
it's not
If a woman got groped in the streets
so
and
if
she
you-
knocked and she hit a dude and she kicked him, they would not charge her and convict her for defending herself. They would say she was SA'd in the streets and she defended herself. A man who does the same exact thing. The only point I'm trying to make is we can argue that the point is that in that moment, in these situations, men are pretty much rendered powerless because they can't do shit about it. There ain't
that's
nothing
not
you
true.
can do.
No,
We just illustrated there ain't shit you can do about it. You said you were laughing out the
You can't
room.
just use one case. You can't just use one case and say, okay, now we got to go with that. No,
I thought you just said it was a culture.
there's cases where women. There's cases where men have been essayed or whatever by women, and they don't want those cases. They exist, bro.
Those are few and far between, bro. We're talking about what the majority happens.
That's what I'm saying. It's all about how you argue.
What happens in majority of cases? Y'all just illustrated is par for the course. So in that situation, so now that I'm saying that the person is rendered powerless, you want to start backpedaling. No, that's what it is. It's a power dynamic.
I didn't say they was rendered powerless. You said
I'm saying that they're rendered powerless. You're saying that they have the reason why. Wait.
I'm saying when you go to court, you have a chance. You have a chance.
And if your chance is 5%,
that's going to persuade me that if I go to court and I actually fight for something that I'm rightfully, have a chance of winning, that I won't win until I actually get to court and I present the evidence. It's all about what the judge is going to say at the end of the day.
Hey, Sweeney.
But if I was to bag it up out of the courtroom, yes, I'm gonna call any man who I feel like me personally, this is my opinion, and I'm not going to attack anybody for not feeling the same way. That's your thing. But yeah, I would think it would be soft. I think if you sue her for money,
that's the problem.
If you sue her for cash, I would think you'd be soft. But if you had sued her and said, "Hey, look, I want a public apology, from you and your family and your brothers," that's cool. But if you're trying to go and get some money out of this girl that probably ain't even got a pot to piss in, yeah.
So is Cassie soft?
Who?
Cassie. Is she soft?
Cassie?
Women are rewarded for being soft, so I think it's not.
That's what I'm saying.
Is she soft because no. You just you said if he does it for monetary reasons, then that makes him soft. So is Cassie soft?
That's different, man.
I don't even know what that.
Hold on, wait. I just looked at the Kevin Gates video of him kicking old girl. This woman is in the audience and she touches her shin, and he kicked her.
Oh, he grabbed her. She grabbed his dick.
I'm looking at the video.
That's what happened. She grabbed his dick.
You try to spin shit, bro?
No, I'm not spinning it. That's what he said. She grabbed my dick.
A lot of stuff you saying, you giving him more weight. Just like when you asked Marcus, if a man came up to you and said I was SA, obviously it's gonna be different than when you say this bad went in the club and grab my balls.
He said it, bro.
Okay, you're right. I just looked at it again. Honestly, she probably barely touched anything.
Barely touched.
I'm not validating it.
Do y'all not see this shit?
But listen, this is what I'm saying.
So men don't even want pussy to touch him, bro.
She just raised him. She just raised him.
This is the crazy.
But listen. This is what they look at in court. How he kicked her definitely escalated the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So more than likely, that's what he got charged on. Now again, I don't think
charged for assaulting her.
You could have said, "Hey, look, baby, I'm good."
If you look at the video, it looked like he assaults her.
He donkey kicked the shit out of us, rightfully so.
Right.
Man, but you if you can stop a threat with a gun, and then when they running away, you shoot them, you're gonna get charged with attempted murder too.
All right, so no.
Answer
that question, sweetie. Answer Marcus' question.
One mic, y'all that can't hear us. We got to do one mic.
I got it for you then.
In that situation,
answer Marcus' question, bro.
Hold on, Marcus.
Wait. I'm talking.
Go ahead.
In that situation, if you're in a physical fight and you pull out your firearm in that moment, you're escalating the situation. So you'll end up getting charged with aggravated assault because you incorporated a firearm.
Aggravated assault.
You know what I'm saying? Into it. So there are levels to it. If I could have just stepped away,
you know what I'm saying, Sweeney, because you're gonna get in trouble if you don't.
If she reaches out and gropes me and I step away, then I've already broke the I've broke contact. You know what I'm saying? But if you engage,
she broke the law too.
I agree. I'm not saying
hands on the man. Look here, this is what I have a problem with, because Darwin is the first one who puts out videos trying to hold a woman accountable about how she moves, behaves, and carries. But he's not gonna hold a heifer accountable when she sexually assault a man. Oh, well, I'm gonna let you go. You a soft man if you sue her for money or not sue her for apology. That's some bullshit, man. We need to stop this shit,
bro. It depends on what it's the nature of the offense, bro.
No. That shows the woman has more power over you than you even think. You might have the moment.
You know what, Hank?
You know what, power over you.
Do what you said you was gonna do. Call the police if somebody grab your balls. Just like you told me, if a man breaking in my shed in the backyard, don't show the gun. Call the police. So now what you gonna do? You gonna hit her or you gonna call the police?
No, I'm gonna go to the police and file a report on the stank ass.
Thank you. Okay then. So don't. So
okay then. I hope they look her. I hope they put her ass in jail, and I hope they take a little goddamn crumb snatcher, bastard ass kids, and put them in the fucking state. Fuck that.
All right, hold on, Sway. Let me just get to Lil Taz. This is the last slide I got on this. So this is Lil Taz coming back after Michael had his response and said, after the actions that occurred during my stream last night, I would like to sincerely apologize to Michael and his family for what took place. My little sister was completely wrong and out of line. What she did was very inappropriate and unacceptable. I am truly embarrassed and disgusted by her actions. I completely respect whatever direction Michael wants to go in this situation. After watching this clip, I was completely taken back by what she done. I will take extreme precautions with future streams to avoid similar issues and have banned her from participating in future streams. I do not condone any type of assault. So that was Lil Taz's response.
So he said, you want to get PRs, huh? You know that boy don't even talk like that, man. That was definitely PR. He just went PR for PR. Like, get the hell out of here,
all of this is to protect the image and
brand. What we
bro.
doing?
That's all it is. If this shit wasn't live, bro, nobody would be talking right now.
You know what?
He wouldn't have came out of the loop and said, "Yeah, somebody grabbed me." Nobody saw it. Nobody would even be talking.
Like you would have called him soft.
No,
Marcus, I got a question for you. Marcus,
my point is, hold on, bro. Live, it had to be talked about, bro, because somebody saw it. How many times you didn't think that you think this is his first time being groped?
I'm sure he had a problem with it then too. But that's beside the point.
Did he say anything?
Hold on, Marcus. I got a question for you.
Come on, man.
How tall are you?
6'7", 6'6", 6'7".
6'7". How much do you weigh?
230.
All right. So if a T who's 110 pounds and 4'9" grabs you by your balls, what are you doing?
Beating the brakes off of him.
Is that appropriate?
You said
if you're 4'9", 110 pounds wet, you're gonna beat the brakes off of him.
A man?
Mm-hmm.
TS.
Yeah, but it's certain things I don't play about.
Are you okay with going to prison for the rest of your life by beating the brakes off of them?
I don't want to go to prison for the rest of my life. However, I'll be okay with how I respond in that scenario. There's certain things, my sexuality as a man, I'm not playing that game, and I'm not playing white people calling me niggas and shit. So if I got to go sit down behind standing on what I believe in, I'm gonna go sit my ass down. But I'm gonna respond how I'm gonna respond.
So why is it that it's okay for you to beat the brakes off of somebody that's half your size, literally?
Somebody.
See
how he just cleverly.
But we're gonna sit. Hold on, wait. No, but we're gonna sit here and say, "Oh man, he donkey kicked her, man. That's out of line." Even though she just grazed him a little bit.
Because men and women aren't the same, Sweeney. Men and women aren't the same, bro.
Weight classes. Hold on, wait. Everybody jump in. Do weight classes not exist?
Like, come on, man.
Do weight classes not exist?
Unrealistic, bro.
The only reason why we can sit here and say shit like men and women are different because of the power dynamic. Well, a person that's half your size, you literally have the power in that situation, and you will still find it. You would think it's completely okay with you beating the shit out of somebody who just grabbed you and they half your size. But then we'll sit here and have an existential conversation about Kevin Gates donkey kicking the shit out of a woman that grabbed his dick. And
because I'm beating dude up not even out of defense. I'm beating them up out of anger.
Yeah, that's different.
Something I'm gonna have to go to jail for.
Hold on, wait. So Kevin Gates donkey kicked her out of anger because she groped him inappropriately.
And his ass got 180 days. Anger.
I wish somebody donkey kick you in your chest.
Go ahead, go out to the street, respond with violence, and see don't you go to jail.
Yeah, no, if you look at it from the court's perspective, from a legal perspective, it's one thing to defend yourself, and it's one thing to beat the fuck out of somebody.
Thank you.
There's a case right now where there was an accident, and this older guy and this younger guy got into a fight. The older guy clearly can't fight, but the younger guy, you know what I'm saying, is taking swings at him. Old man pulls this leveler out of his trunk and chases the younger guy around the car. The younger guy knocks him down, kicks him while he's down on the ground numerous times while after he's out of it, and damn near kill him. You know what I'm saying? And they gave him like 17 years. So it's one thing to defend yourself, but if you take it to the extreme where you're putting somebody in the hospital where you could have broke contact, then they're gonna slam you every time, bro.
Put your ass under the jail.
And Sweeney, the reason I answered it like that, because I've been in that situation and that's how I responded. Hopefully I might be better in the remember I told you about when the dude hit the car when we was at Wrigleyville and I got out and whooped him in the fire.
Does that make you soft?
That I did or did?
According to Darwin, you'll be soft in that situation.
What, for beating them up?
A whole different situation.
For beating up a person half your size that you know you can beat the crap out of just because
she changing the context, bro.
No, I'm saying the dude called my wife.
I'm questioning
you right so bad. You gotta change all of the ingredients to the context.
Right, because y'all use power dynamics as the explanation.
I've been able to stand on what I said and not
you said if a man sues for money, if a man sues for money, he's soft. That's what you call the man for suing.
Every time y'all move the goalposts and change ingredients, y'all get back in
the corner and y'all not understanding. What you're not understanding. Hold on, wait. I got it, Hank. What you're not understanding is I'm questioning your logic.
Nelson done did it. Viz done did it. Marcus done did it. You just keep taking L's on this topic, bro.
No, what I'm doing is I'm questioning your logic because
you're changing my logic.
Wait. No, I'm not changing your logic because the reason why you say
I was soft. I'm gonna give you a point of reference. I could be considered soft and weak for how I got off on clout. We had a whole discussion about that because I wasn't able to keep my composure. It's subjective to your argument. You understand? He could be considered soft because he could have showed that man grace. If Marcus is 6'6", 6'7", is beating on somebody 4'10", and he know he could have handled this situation, subdue the man.
Yeah, that's being soft, man. That's taking advantage of a motherfucker.
Okay, so it's subjective depending on what the situation is.
Absolutely.
I gave two paradigms. So in this instance, Darwin is correct.
No. See, that's what because y'all not understanding my argument.
He just explained it to you.
Yeah, he explained something, but he was explaining an argument I didn't make. I'm questioning your logic. We walked it down. You said, well, there's a power dynamic. That's what makes them soft because there's a power dynamic.
I just gave you two logical.
But you're giving me logic for something I didn't say.
It's directly to what you said.
No, it's not. Well,
regarding being soft.
I can't get y'all there if y'all keep interrupting me and not letting me get it out.
Yo, you the most long-winded dude here.
Well, I can be that. But at least let me get it out before you say something.
Okay,
all right. So let me walk it down. Let me walk it down. We said the reason why they said, oh, it'll be soft because there's a power dynamic between men and women. So the power dynamic is, well, obviously women are weaker and a man can defend himself. So if that is the case, then in the particular situation where Marcus has the power dynamic over somebody that's half his size, according to Bruiser's logic, it would be soft. Granted, he's saying that he wouldn't think that, but that goes against his logic. Because you said that the only reason why a man will be soft is because it's a woman and you're stronger than her. Well, if
I didn't say the only reason why. You put words in my mouth.
Go and let him get it off. Let him get it off.
Man, JR, you can move to the next topic.
Wait, hold on, no, because we
can move to the next topic, bro.
Let me just dead wrong.
Let me just ask Sweeney. Let me just ask Sweeney.
We can move to the next topic.
You ran to another L, Sweeney. Another one. There's no way around it.
Let me just ask you a question. Are you advocating for a blanket approach to like what should be right and what should be wrong in these types of situations? Is that That's not all right.
That wasn't my point at all.
That was my only question. Okay.
Yeah, that
So
wasn't
you
my
believe
point at
that
all.
you
That was a
believe
good
that
question.
it should be case by case, their context
No.
matters, things like that, right?
No, I was
You
just questioning. No. Again, my whole entire point was I was questioning his logic. He offered a specific type of logic behind why he said what he said. So I started asking questions to test his logic, and he started moving his logic depending on the situation. If that's how you want to do it, fair. But I'm entitled to point out how his logic is flawed because when it
Just
came to
because
this,
I adjust it to the circumstances doesn't make it flawed. It just makes
it does make it flawed.
No, it don't.
So,
Now we can move on. Your logic is
now,
flawed.
Bruce, let me ask you this though, Bruce. How is it
let me just say
that
this
time
statement.
we had a conversation? Come on, man. Now we had a conversation. Remember we had a conversation, and your ass is telling all your friends' business about pillow talking with your wife. But we didn't call you soft on that bullshit. We call you. You was on some voodoo. So you don't remember when you was saying you
Why
pillow
do y'all
talk?
gotta take? Why do y'all gotta so bad to try to make a point? It's getting ridiculous at this point.
Tell my wife
No,
everything.
you said this. This is what you said, dog. This is what you said you do. You said, "Well, you better not tell me because I'm gonna tell my wife. I'm gonna tell her all the business."
And what did I say, Marcus White? What did I say? What did I say?
He told me behind the scenes. Because we was about to have a conversation. I was like, wait, don't talk in front of Bruiser. He was like, man, I was trolling that day. So he don't mean it. He told me this like last week. I swear to God,
when y'all, the moment y'all get really strong and passionate on y'all opinion, when y'all can't accept nobody, that's when I start trolling y'all. Because it's hard to even have a conversation where y'all can accept other people that got an opinion. Then I'm gonna just troll you because there's no way to argue with you. But the whole point is, bro. The whole point is
you're gonna hold a woman accountable. You're gonna hold a woman accountable for
her behavior. Put Andre's chat up.
You'll call a man soft.
Put Andre chat up. You just put it. Andre Cable. Thank you. That's exactly what I was testing.
Sex does have a basis, though.
No, it doesn't, because y'all
was
making
an argument.
Yeah, we got to transition. Y'all, we got to transition. We're gonna be here all night.
Go back to man and woman, not just
we're gonna be here all night. Let's get to this super chat right quick. Come on, $14 says, "What if it's done in front of your wife? What next?" Thank you for your contribution. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I appreciate everybody that's in the chat. The chat is live right now. Let's make sure we hit that like button, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and keep it transitioning. I'm gonna bring this up, man. This is Ray J and Shannon Sharp. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up because Ernest, Ernest Owens had a problem with what was going on. I'm gonna go ahead and read this first, and I'll go ahead and play it. Ernest Owens, he is a journalist, said, "Listen up. I'll say this and move on, but I seriously can't stand to watch or hear another thing about the Club Shay Shay show again. Ray J recently shared on this episode how a woman in her 30s helped him to cleanse himself at the age of 14. She would bathe him before they had sex. Shannon Sharp doesn't address this with concern and instead marketed this clip on the show's Instagram as dating older women. Ray J shares his experience. A 14-year-old dating a 30-year-old. It's called grooming. It's called molestation. It's called sexual abuse. This is how sexual abuse is normalized in hip hop and media. I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip. Y'all ready? Here we go.
You went after some older women, bro.
He's good.
Yeah, I'm like,
I love it.
I'm looking at I'm like,
listen.
Is it true, kid? If I throw out a name, could you?
Shay, you have a fucking book.
My team good, man. The team good, man. Was it the allure of an older woman? It was the fact that somebody was like 15, 20, 30 years older than you. What was your attraction? Was it the name? Was it the allure? What was it?
You know, with an older woman back in the day when I was like 15, 14, I had a girl, she was like 34. I was like 14. How long is that? 14, 20. That's
19, 20 years.
20 years older. What the older woman made me realize was that I was dirty. And I needed to be cleansed. I need to be cleaned.
Yeah.
I need to be cleansed. I was dirty, right? Literally. Dirty minded, dirty in the field, and bodily dirty. So my little 30-year-old, like she was, I think 34, I'm gonna say D, you know what I'm talking about. So I would go over to her house, she had all white. And what happened was she told me to take a shower one day before I got in her bed. So I took a shower. I took that, rubbed myself. I thought I did. I mean, everywhere. Shit. I get out the shower and I take the white towel and I dry myself off. And the towel, dirty as a dirty, it's still dirty.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably bathed myself drying off better than I did in the shower, right? Towel dirty than a motherfucker. So she start tripping. That ain't how I go. So she put me in the tub in roses and bathed me every night until I got in the bed. And the tub was, I mean, it was unsittable. You couldn't, nobody could sit in there after that. It was just a pool with the ring around it. It was really dirty.
Yeah.
So they really taught me how to be clean. And that's why I love an older woman, because they really just, they like bathed me. They cleansed me of all dirt and all sin back in the day. And I'll never forget them.
You still interested in older women?
I'm old now, so I can't, I don't know. Pussy too old now. I mean, we talking 80, 90, you know, like 95. But I love a 95-year-old woman, don't get me wrong. I just don't want to bother her.
Right.
I don't want to bother her. I don't want to mess with her like that right now. Fuck up her day.
Shit, probably fuck up her life.
Let's go ahead, man. I mean, this is one of those conversations about younger boys dealing with older women. I'm gonna go ahead and have you kick it off, Nelson. What are your thoughts about this? What's your expertise?
I mean, what the post that was attached to that video perfectly described what that was. I mean, that is grooming. It was molestation. That was definitely abuse. And the sad thing about it is that he doesn't even know it. His mind would never had the opportunity to fully develop and realize what was going on and what he was doing. And what it did is, at that young age, it normalized it for him to now, when he's an adult, he looks back on it fondly, when that's not at all like the way he just described the details of it is insane. Like that was grooming to a T, like bathing him inside of a pool, a tub of roses, and like,
this is nuts.
Why is that nuts?
I mean, according to Bruiser, that's par for the course, man. That's why he don't find nothing wrong with it, because that shit just happened.
I haven't even spoke on this topic, and you already kind of assume what I'm gonna say.
And that's why we keep arguing for context, because if you would have said 14 and 30, I'm sure Bruiser wouldn't have said.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that because you said because you did say
they trolling.
Hold on, y'all. Let him finish. Let Nelson finish first before we go ahead.
But yeah, Nelson, the reason why I said that was because you said that he doesn't even know what happened to him. But there's a reason why he doesn't know that. And it's because it's considered normal for boys to be able to deal with older chicks like that. And they get congratulated.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
Hey,
is.
Sweeney, let
Nelson finish.
How many times have we seen a teacher deal with a young boy? He gets that for dealing with an older woman rather than
not normal though. Just because we see
Nelson ain't finished speaking.
Go ahead, Nelson. Go ahead, Nelson.
So what you're referring to, actually, the problem is that should have been a role of a father. Like when you think about learning things about how you interact with a woman, engaging in sex, things like that. You know, your father is the one that tells you make sure you keep yourself clean and things like that. He was describing a ritualized way of being intimate with someone. When he's talking about cleansing him from sin and stuff like that, that's the essence of trauma. That is grooming. Like, he's been manipulated, and I feel really bad for him because he doesn't understand that. But the context matters. The age really matters, because I talk a lot about people about when their clock stops for them. His clock stopped when he was 14, meaning his growth, his maturity was stunted to where he might be a 30-year-old man now, but he has the psychological makeup when it comes to intimacy and sex as that 14-year-old boy still, because he had that experience. His mind stayed in that place, so where now things that should never be okay are okay. And that's why I think, that what he explained was a serious problem. Like, that's crazy. I don't think that's something any father should condone. That's no rites of passage. That's no anything like that. Like, this was a totally unique situation, and that woman should be locked up. That is definitely different. You can't throw more context about age in there and then try to relate the two concepts.
Well, no, what I was saying was that we just sat here and talked about how the reason why essay on men it's just seen as normal. It's par for the course. The same thing applies here. The reason why he saw nothing wrong with what happened to him is for the same exact reason. Read the chat. They're telling you, hey, we used to get congratulated for dealing with older chicks. It used to be a badge of honor when you fucked the older woman and she was 30-some years old and you was 15, or if you bagged the teacher or something like that. It was seen as normal. So in the same context, my context is that it's all relative, that we don't care about men being essayed, raped, or none of that, because it's par for the course. We look at it the same way. We have a double standard when it comes to men and this type of things. So it's just interesting. Well, you had your own point, Nelson, but I'm just interested to see how all the men respond to what happened to Ray J, and if it's any different given the context.
You got to let us respond first before you try to bridge the first topic over.
Unless if you don't say that, hey, it's all good, hey, it's okay for them, then your logic goes.
You going to assume I'm going to have the same logic.
Tell me what you think about it. You're absolutely right. Tell me what you think about it. What you think about what happened right there?
I think it's egregious that this woman took advantage of a minor.
Thank you for proving my point.
A minor. This is a minor. This is a kid that can't mentally defend himself, haven't mentally adjusted enough to be able to have any maturity or logic on how to deal with a situation like this. This is completely a child being taken advantage of. It's unacceptable. And I think somebody said something about a father being a kid life. This wouldn't happen. This is most definitely zero tolerance right here. It got me. And let me just say this for the record. This is, you can't bridge my logic on this point. I know how bad Sweeney tried to do this. You can't bridge my logic and the points I'm making on this on the first topic. Totally different. I don't know how you I don't even know how you can mentally get your mind to even try to do that. Because I would have a brain aneurysm trying to figure out how to connect that logic between my thoughts on the first topic and my thoughts on this one, because it's totally two different scenarios, totally two different contexts.
Sure. You do know that Boosie had a grown ass woman stripping for him, right? And he was just a kid.
Bring it up.
So no, a father being there probably wouldn't change that shit at all. He'd probably dap his son up saying, hey, you back the 30-year-old son.
So let me ask you this, Sweeney, since you like to do this. If your 14-year-old son, you caught your 14-year-old son coming out of the house ass naked, getting some cheeks from a 34-year-old, how would you respond?
That bitch going to jail.
Okay then. So
but the difference though, I never said that I supported what happened.
I didn't ask you, did you support it?
I was always against it. So you can't use
what I would do. You said it don't make no difference the father in his life.
But that's not the norm. I'm apparently not normal.
Talking about the norm. I'm asking you.
I'm apparently not normal because I find something wrong with men getting essayed. So my response would be different from yours.
Hold on, Sweeney. You said it's the norm. So are you willing to say that every one of these men on here that's a father would be okay with that? Or majority of the men on this, in order to give credibility to your statement saying it's the norm. So we got 9 people out here. You say majority of the men on here would say, oh, that's cool. I would say, yeah, you bagged a 34-year-old.
Have you ever
willing to go on the record and say that?
Have you ever seen a response when
No, I'm saying, are you willing to go on the record?
Why
and
are
say,
you not
"You're
answering
not
this
taking no account
question?
right
When
now
I go on the
what
record, I can't go on the record and say what y'all was saying.
you just went on the record and said
Answer
it on
his
a general
question.
basis.
Stop
What's-
moving to another question.
Honestly, all
What's
bullshit
the
aside,
premise?
I think y'all will walk it back now that I done pushed y'all in the corner. But I guarantee none of y'all would have a problem with it.
You the only
bet
one in
my
the
bottom
corner,
dollar.
Sweetie.
I bet my bottom dollar. Most of y'all,
Well, you be
except
get
for
broke.
Hank could be the
be
only
get
one
broke.
that'll say something to put that bitch in jail. The rest of y'all will congratulate y'all son. And I'll put that on record.
What's the percentage, Sweeney?
Every last one of y'all, except for Hank, will congratulate your son. Every last one of y'all.
This point,
Y'all
so
have
you
that
just-
y'all
you
signed
took
up and
another
say,
L, 'cause
good
Mark
job,
just
good job, homie.
discredited
You
that.
bagged yourself a 30-year-old.
That's
Can
really
I get
wild.
some too, son?
You just heard Nelson's whole point. You could have at least cheated and included Nelson in it. Because he didn't.
Yeah, can I get some too, son?
You see how you doing? That's another L, Sweetie.
All right, let's go to some of the other guys' perspective, man. We're going to go to Trail.
So I think it's unfortunate that it happened to him like that, and I think that the woman was absolutely grooming him. But we also have to consider that his father was in his life. He was taking him to all of his, when he was in his training and he was trying to get into the acting and all. So his father wasn't absent. He had both parents in his life, right? And I think it's different. I do my damnedest to protect my son, who's right around that age. He's 15, and that would devastate me if I saw something like that happening with my son. That would be crazy to me. But on the other hand, I do know multiple men who I've been friends of for decades now, and they've had that happen to them, right, when they were right around that age, by teachers even, and they function just fine, right? Have regular relationships, right, settled, and just function normally. It didn't do anything to them, right? And I don't know, Ray J, he was doing a lot of things when he was 14. In that other interview, he had a car. He was acting, and he was having to do things that grown-ups do. He was damn near living a grown-up life. So it could be a situation where some children are forced to be adults a lot earlier. It's only now society has really put this 18 threshold on to when we are supposed to be adults. But I'm pretty sure if most of you are into your family's history, there's people who were married when they were or 13, 14, stuff like that. Or yeah, I know for a fact that some people have those situations. So I really feel like it's about the perspective. Again, the way society is constructed right now, me personally, I wouldn't want that for my children, but I don't know. I don't think that I know he's had some weird situations, but his life is extremely unique. So there could have been so many different factors that have led him to what he's doing today, right? So we know he doesn't live an ordinary life, but I know this absolutely takes more of a toll on women, but men, not so much. I think that some children will go through that and be fine. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't dare take that chance, with one of my children, but I've seen people who have came up, all right, what you got, Sweeney? You having a ball over there. You had a question? You sure?
I'm sure, bro. Go ahead.
All right. But no, I think it's an individual basis.
Okay, so I think what Ray J described was grooming, and I think it stunted his like Nelson said, I think it stunted him at the time period when that happened. And it would explain a lot of substance abuse be linked to that. A lot of failure to have long-term consistent relationships is linked to that. And again, I'll say I was ignorant to the effects of that, because there was a point in time where I've been like, damn, Joe, you got the sex from the older woman, like you hit that, like Sweeney said, it was a point in time I would have thought that. And then I came in contact with men who had been abused, and I seen the effects of it, and that is what changed my mind on it. Not so I just came out thinking like, oh, this XYZ, but I see some men that struggle to have relationships, and it's almost like they don't feel validated because we view women as different. So when the woman was allowed to do something to them and she wasn't prosecuted, it kind of champions it. These women need to be held accountable and equal based off of that occurring. And I've seen men specifically around the space be in that space, but I also know a large amount of men who slept with older women who did not have those issues. But the best thing would be for them not to have come in contact with them, so that wouldn't even be a factor at all. But I'd be lying if I say it didn't seem weird. It seemed very weird until I seen the effects of it. So that's just an honest answer. I'm not trying to,
And the fact that you didn't see the effects of it is based on your level of maturity, right?
The people I was around, yeah. So the men that I knew that was doing it,
the maturity of the other men that you were around, they all thought it was cool because they lacked that. And I think somebody stated earlier, like on the first premises of all these topics, it was maturity and upbringing. Somebody said something about your upbringing being different. Because I think we as men, fathers, would, teach our kids that, hey, look, this shit is not cool. Then once you as a kid get around other kids who think it's cool, you can challenge them on these things. But we couldn't even challenge each other on these things because we thought we were around men who thought it was okay. You get what I'm saying? So we can point the finger at ourselves, but in a sense, we're kind of victims in it as well, based on the people over in us, equipping us with the knowledge to be able to challenge this issue or being something normal, something like Sweeney would say. So I get it. He want to paint us out as monsters so bad on these topics, but he keep taking L's. But I'm gonna yield, let him go.
Hey, but I think that
let me say this real fast because I'm about to go. This is why I have to constantly question our black coaches being trash, man. This is why, because I heard some of the shit we say, we do, and it further reminds me, yeah, I think we are. We're not gonna get any goddamn better, man. It's not going to get any better for us because we don't want to. We still in 2024 feel like it's okay for this to happen. That's the reason why with R. Kelly, this shit got away. He got away with this shit for so long. This is the reason why shit like this goes on and we just sweep it under the rug like it's nothing happening. Even though we know our uncles who was touching our little girl cousins, our aunts was out there touching our little boy cousins and taking advantage of them, and nobody never said nothing. You see about this shit that happens in school, these teachers are taking advantage. Nobody's reporting it, nobody's saying nothing, nobody's pressing the situation. Where these kids are being touched by Catholic priests. And the only thing that happens to them, these priests get moved to another monetary, whatever they call them, the other churches. And moved to other locations or other schools. Dude, this is a problem for me, man. Kill this motherfucker off. I'm reporting this heifer. If that was my son, this heifer going to jail right beside LaBuddy's sister. She got a new goddamn cellmate. Fuck that heifer. She ain't gonna survive. Because I'm gonna report her ass and I want papers on her too.
And Joe, I think, one second, Mark. One thing I think we need to keep put in the context too. Two situations, both are bad. A guy, let's say a father has his 14-year-old son and he forces him to sleep with a woman as his twisted way of having a rites of passage, turning his son into a man. I think we would all agree that that's wrong. What we need to take into account is grooming is a different thing. This is a psychological thing. Grooming is a predatory thing where it's systematic, to where the person that is grooming is slowly lowering the inhibitions of the person that is the victim by doing things to gain their trust, by functioning as a teacher and a mentor, teaching them a system of their version of right and wrong. This is how you do this. This is the consequences if you do this, in order to gain a psychological advantage over them. That's why later on in life, you see a lot of people with problems with that trauma manifested itself in different ways, in very bad ways. Both of them are wrong. Both people should be locked up, but we have to also make sure that we know the context and the implications that both can have. So that young boy that his father did that to him, he may grow up and have more of a normalized, set of relationships and function in a different way because of his experience. But the person that was groomed, now they've been subjected to intense manipulation, gaslighting, and the grooming aspect of it, so they may function a different way in society. Both are wrong.
Well, both of them will be considered grooming. A father
Really?
that tells his son it's a rite of passage for you to go sleep with a 30-year-old woman is grooming. And he may be, if you don't do it, man, you're a little soft ass little bitch if you don't do it. Man, this is what men do. That's grooming.
I would encourage you to actually read about what grooming actually is.
That's not
What you're
grooming.
saying, I'm telling you what I'm telling you that
That's
it
not
is
grooming.
wrong. I'm telling you that it is wrong. Absolutely. Grooming is a deeply psychological thing.
How
Like,
is that
that's not apples to apples.
How is that not psychological for a father to force his son to sleep with a 30-year-old woman as a rite of passage?
Can you describe the reward system that happens when a father does that? Can you, in Ray J's case, can you see substance abuse problems that arose, his unstable, his history of unstable relationships, because his view on intimacy, this religious aspect that he's included in his sexual relationships with people? You see different implications because this woman taught him.
Ray J was fucked up by a 30-year-old sleeping with him and messing with him. There's also dudes that came out of it that didn't grow up fucked up off of it. There's been dudes that's grown up fucked up off of their father forcing them to sleep with grown women, and there's dudes that haven't been fucked up by it happening to them. Both of them can yield either results, but they're both still the same thing.
I respectfully, if you understood what manipulation truly is, I think you're looking at it as these are the same thing. But when you look at manipulation and the psychological effects that it has on people, it is different. It's more nuanced. I'm still telling you that both are wrong, but both are not equal. Both they have different.
Grooming.
Both of
if
them
I tell if a father tells his son he has to sleep with a 30-year-old woman as a rite of passage, and a boy doesn't want to, but he does it because his father said that this is what men do, that's not grooming.
Okay, so let's go with your scenario and let's look at another scenario. A 35-year-old man is with a 14-year-old girl. He gains her trust by picking her up from school every day, by making sure that she eats, asking her how her day is going every single day. He slowly begins to become intimate with her by having her sit on his lap, giving extra long hugs, giving kisses that start off on the cheek but then slowly move to the mouth over time. And then it ends up getting to the place where she feels uncomfortable with it, but she doesn't want to disappoint him because he's being such a good person to her, that she begins to give into it. It slowly becomes normalized for her to where now he starts to escalate. Now he is saying, if you love me, you would let me urinate on you when we are intimate, because that is part of what we do. This is how you love a man. This is how you are supposed to treat the man that is inside of your life, that is your father figure, that is your boyfriend or husband or whatever it may be. Do you see the slow manipulation and escalation of events? That is grooming someone. You're grooming them into the person that you want them to be, how you want them to function psychologically. It is different.
The practice or preparing or training someone for a particular purpose or activity.
And
No, the
Nelson,
psychological
but
definition.
I don't see it. Yeah, Nelson, nothing against what you're saying, brother. But that's not how I'm going to look at it. I'm not going to look at him grooming the woman grooming my 14-year-old son, or what it was a one-off. It's a problem either goddamn way. And either way, I need the law to step in and to do what they need to do.
Wasn't that the first sentence I said though? That is both are wrong. I consistently said that at least 5 times. So why are you?
Brother, I ain't trying to fight you on. I'm not trying to fight
either. I'm just trying to make a point. Is they're both wrong, and they can both be different and both be wrong.
I understand.
That is my point.
But I'm talking about from a man who doesn't know, who doesn't have your knowledge. I'm just gonna see it from what I've seen it. Yeah, motherfucker, you taking advantage of my son. Now the law better get you, because you don't want my type of law to get you.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
You know what? Nelson. I grant what you said. That it's building up a trust. That one was building up a trust and all of that. But here's the kicker though. This father already has his son trust.
Does he?
Yes. If the father can tell him go sleep with a 30-year-old woman, he trusts that his father is right in what he says.
I hope you don't be telling this stuff in barber chairs and people's ears. You don't see the stark difference of how he.
No, I don't. I do not see the stark difference. I do not see the stark difference. No, I don't.
You know why?
Okay, so let's try to get some understanding what's going on. Let's try to get some understanding of what Nelson is saying. Well, let's attempt. Go ahead, Kenny. Let me see what you're gonna say.
Because I've been listening for a while, and he parsed it as for how there was a progression rather than a rational act in one moment. He showed the difference in leveling, and you're still there with your barbershop confessions to someone who's clinical that knows how to tell you exactly where it is. And I caught it, and I hope others did as for the difference. And you're still trying to argue him down, and the difference is there. And he put it in 2 different models, actually 2 to 3 different models for you to look at. And you still bumping your head on the friggin' barber chair.
Yeah, because you're using a fallacy.
I think I see where Sweeney's going a little bit, because you could groom as a parent too. You could just start saying, "Hey, look at that! How you like that chick right there?" Then you could start showing them adult films, right? You could start getting them comfortable with the acts of sex, and then you could kind of manipulate them, coax them into it, get them hyped about it. And the reward system will be him having a son who he feels like is man enough, even though
Trev, you made a very good point. But the model was given. Okay, so I'm trying to speak to Trev. Have some decorum. You spoke most of the night. Yeah. So Trev, I get what you're saying, but the model was giving a stark act. I'm snatching my son. I'm making him have sex. It wasn't a progression that built up to that. From the model that was given, it was a spontaneous act.
No, I get that.
I can't.
I get that.
I'll grooming. If you get where I'm going with that.
I know.
Like,
as far as that act right there,
I'm ready now. There was no progression to it. As for
so
the
if it's
model that was given.
Got it. So if you go by what I just described, would you consider that grooming right there?
Yes, but the model was given does not fit that what you just said.
And I think
like, I'm gonna
would you try both of them the same?
Right of pass. Okay, I'm gonna
try
grab
both
my
of them the
son.
same?
Okay, Jesus Christ. Let me try it one more time.
Would you try both of them the same?
So rite of passage. I'm gonna snatch my son. My son was not anticipating that. It was not no build up like I'm going on a field trip tomorrow and I got my clothes out and I'm happy and this, that, and the third. Like, yeah. No. He gave you the differences. The model that was presented, it differed. When Trev pointed out what he just did and he asked me what it was, I consider that grooming. Then we have the clinical person. So their studies can parse it out so that we can see it if we're willing to just not over talk and just listen to respond. See how he parses it out. He did it 3 times, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I see what he means here." I can see the differential for how he did it. So I digress.
Okay.
But correct me if I'm. Let me just say one thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nelson, on this. I saw another difference that I don't think anybody else saw. But the difference I saw was with the grooming in the other scenario. It's the person that was grooming. The thing that they were getting, the outcome involved their pleasure. The person that was constructing the grooming, the outcome led to them getting something out of it. Versus the father telling his son to go do this, he's not getting something out of it physically or anything like that or any pleasure. It's the kid.
Unless he's living it through him vicariously, right? Then that would be his reward.
Yeah, y'all are saying a bunch of different case by case types things, like the one scenario you described earlier that had no context, like a dad just telling a son to go and do this action, and that's it. That's its own scenario, wrong, and needs to be addressed in a certain way. Another scenario where a father is slowly teaching his son what to do, making him watch porn or forcing him to have sex with random women and do different things and escalating things and teaching him this is what love means, like a way of manipulating his son to think the way that he wants him to think and behave the way that he wants him to behave. I'm trying to just impress to you that there's levels to it. We can't have a cookie cutter. It's not a cookie cutter answer to this. There's levels to it.
So Nelson, what you said, I think if we are approaching it from a good faith argument, it makes perfect sense. And I feel like that is to drive a point home, because I see where they're going. But like you said, you already said all of these things are wrong. You're just saying they're different paths to the wrong. So to argue you down on the point is different. I have another question for y'all though. If you saw signs that your son was looking like he was going to be effeminate and potentially gay, would you try and groom him to be straight?
Go ahead, Sweeney.
Absolutely. I say absolutely.
Wouldn't that still be grooming? How would you?
Would you do it though? I'm asking. It's a question.
No. Well, actually, no. I'm lying.
Welcome home. Finally, it took us 2 hours to welcome you home.
Now, how does that disprove the whole?
Because you said earlier that I changed my shit according to whatever. I don't know.
So if I wanted my son to be straight, does that mean that I have to have him go out there and force him to go out there and have sex with a grown ass woman for him to be straight?
Come on.
Would that be the requirement, or do I have to force him to go out there and have sex with girls to try to groom him to be straight?
We had him.
Or would I sit there and be like, "Hey, son, you don't like to play sports? You don't want to play basketball? Why you want to play dolls? Or why you want to dress like that? You don't want to wear this outfit?" But it has to be sexual. I have to make him go out there and have sex. If that was the case, if I force my son to go out there and have sex, I'm just as culpable as far as grooming and it's just as bad.
Isn't that the extreme way to get your son to be straight?
Well, we're talking about grooming here, so I would assume that he was referencing some form of grooming him to be sexually active with women.
Could we acknowledge that no matter what, all parents groom their children in some form?
Sweeney?
Yeah, we do. So with that being said, if a father tells his son that it's a rite of passage, he's informing him that you have to do this, son, because this is what you need to do to become a man. You're grooming him. Whether you groomed him in less than 5 minutes or over some years, it's still grooming.
Was all grooming bad?
That's a particular instance of grooming is bad.
So, man, you're allowing. I see where you're going with it. You're like posing questions, but Sweeney's trying to hammer down this point after it's been parsed through, and it's like beating a dead horse at this point in time, because It's not for understanding. He just wants to be right.
I am right. I'm not guessing when I'm saying this.
I started an hour ago, man.
Right. I am right. I'm not guessing. That's grooming.
My God, Sweeney. Just stick to the stats, bro.
All right. Because
So
it's only grooming if a 30-year-old woman comes over and says, hey son, hey, you should do this with me because you want to be a man, right? Let me tell you how to bathe so you can be a man. But if a father comes and tells his son, hey man, you're only a man if you sleep with that girl, right? Now, I know, yeah, she's 30 years old. You're gonna be a man if you do this. That's not grooming.
Let me answer that. We said it was grooming. But
so can we accept the fact that it's grooming?
We got to the point where whether it was good or bad.
That's bad grooming. You just groomed your son to be sexually assaulted.
You didn't ask us, was it bad grooming? You said, was it grooming? You see
and
how
we all determined that it was grooming, right? And then you said, well, let's figure out if it's bad grooming or good grooming.
If we can look up the definition, and grooming can have some positive connotation, because I think we argued about the term manipulation and indoctrination. So if we can go out on the record and say that grooming can have some positive outcome, then yes, I would agree that all parents groom their children. But whether it's bad or not, or good,
well, if a father grooms his son, if a father gets his son to sleep with a 30-year-old woman, that would be seen as the same type of grooming as if a 30-year-old woman got his son to sleep with her. It's still grooming.
The morals. It's based on the principles of the parents. If the parents have a cultural belief that things are this way, are naturally this way, then there's no way we can discount it because we're not the parent.
So if we saw a father make his son sleep with a 30-year-old woman and he says, hey, that's the way we do shit around here, we're going to sit there and be like, hey, I mean, the father said it was all good, right?
Look, I can tell you what I would do.
No, you would say the father said it's all good, right?
I can tell you what I can do, or you can assume what I would do.
I'm gonna assume because you just
what I would say. What I would tell you I would do is when he stated the term, "This is what we do around here," I would ask questions like, "Okay, where are you from? What cultural background?" And see if that can be substantiated and supported.
We in America.
Hold on. Okay, so now you want to move the goalpost, but I'm trying to ask you.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm trying to eliminate you moving the
goalpost. So if it was a woman, would you sit there and ask her questions like, "Hey, what country are you from?"
Changing it up.
If it was a woman who did it to the little boy, you wouldn't ask no question. You'd be like,
before we start, you do know every time you ask a different question, I gotta readapt my response to that.
Your logic don't make sense.
You're trying to win by changing your.
Your logic don't make sense.
You know that every response to each question is going to be subjective to that.
Culture don't matter in this.
You find yourself losing by me answering, you immediately switch the whole question and try to seem like you winning. It's
your whole premise.
Tactic. I read that in the book. You
don't need no help, Kenny.
Okay, Darwin, real quick. His whole premise fell flat a while back when he said all of us would be contrite with having our son sleep with an older woman. He spoke for all of us.
Bruiser just said he had to ask the daddy context on why he would let his son sleep with a 30-year-old woman.
Sweeney,
he would not do that if it was a 30-year-old woman, right?
Hold on, Sweeney.
That's not what I said. I said I would ask the dad when he's made the statement from "this is how we do around here." I will go try to figure out how he can substantiate that based on his culture and his background.
So the dad ain't going to jail because you need to figure out if what the dad did was bad or not.
Go ahead.
Because you got to figure out what the dad did is bad or not. So you got to talk to the father, and you know that the dad just made his son get raped by a grown ass woman, but you need to sit here and figure out, hey man, what part of the culture do you have in your life that allows you to let 30-year-olds sleep with your son?
If the man said this is how we do things around here, where I'm from, my culture, or whatever, then I got to look at it. He's going to be like, okay, this is written here. This is what we believe. This is our religion. And then I would be out of line by challenging a man and his family based on their cultural beliefs.
And that's a fact. So he wasn't wrong for asking if we're in America or not. Where in the diaspora are we? What country are we in?
I fear for our kids.
Is it their customs? You tried to shut that down, but you still didn't answer.
That's silly.
Okay, so when a while back when you said all of us would have been fine.
It sounds like
with
y'all
our
would be.
okay, let me finish. You said all of the gentlemen on the panel would have been fine with their young son sleeping with the older woman. Didn't you? Did you or did you not make that assumption?
And I stand by it. I still think y'all would.
Okay. It's good. That's your POV, but that don't make it right. No matter how much you raise your voice, no matter how you try to change the paradigm of your questioning, because you've done that like throughout the whole night and tried to find different angles so somebody could slip into that quicksand.
And y'all did it. Y'all did it hook, line, and sinker. Every
No,
single time.
you're good, but I'm
every
better.
single time. Yeah, okay.
And every
You
time
did
I
it.
pointed up,
You can say that, but you did it hook, line, and sinker.
How so?
Every argument that y'all made solidified my point. It's
How
all
so?
good. It's all good.
How so?
Because I just walked all this down and y'all proved my point time and time again.
You know what you proved? You missed this so much. Instead of
all right, I missed it so much.
Wait. The novels that you write in the back chat at like 3, 4 in the morning when you should be asleep.
Oh, now we bringing up the back chat. Now we bringing up the back chat. See,
so
you know how this is what people do when they lose arguments.
Ready, set,
this is what
go.
they do when they lose. They start making ad hominem attacks and start bringing up the back chat.
Is that an ad hominem attack or a fact?
It's all good.
Gentlemen.
Just a fact doesn't make it not an ad hominem. It
Wait,
could be
no.
ad hominem.
No, I could be in the back chat and I say,
so why are you bringing up me writing novels in our group chat as a thing to try to disprove my argument? That makes no sense.
No,
it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. You fell for a hook, line, and sinker.
Wait. You asked me something.
JR, what's the next topic?
Did you not ask me something? Then you're trying to be the moderator. Wait. Didn't you just ask me something?
Ding.
And then
ring
you
the
wanted
bell.
to be
This
the
man is
moderator?
cooked, y'all.
Wait, you've talked for at least 3 hours.
He's cooked.
And it's only 2 hours
He's
in the
cooked.
And I'm like, wait a minute. At the beginning
Hey,
of the
look,
stream,
he
you
even
wanted to
brought
have
up the
and
whole
you
barber
continued it
thing.
now?
Thomas, oh man, you don't know shit behind the barber. You banging your head up against the barber chair. All ad hominem. That's what people do when they lose arguments.
How if
It's
I
all
gave
good
case in
though.
points?
Ding. This man is cooked.
How I would be ignorant if I didn't give case and points to add to that validity. As for you being long-winded,
there is no validity. Now you calling me long-winded.
Like I did. Hey, if y'all got like another 15 minutes, I did have one more topic I wanted to put up. And y'all cool with it? All right,
Did I lie?
I am long-winded, but that don't mean that it ain't ad hominem. I'm long-winded as shit.
So wait, ad hominem.
Go ahead and throw that stuff in there, bro.
You don't leave full book reports in the back chat.
You got cooked.
I got cooked.
Yeah, bro, you got cooked. It's all good.
No, sir. Sweeney got cooked.
Both of y'all got both of y'all got barbecue
Sweeney,
today.
you realize the majority of tonight, I just sat there and listened to your banter.
All right, let me go ahead and do this last chat. Let me get to these. Only 3 super chats came in. Just my 4 cents, $2. What if it's done in front of your wife? I read that one already. Michael Newell, $5 says men are not the same as women, period. This king talk, I thought we are not the same. It's not essay. Is this king talk or pandering talk? Sony Black, $2 says movies like Weird Science and Juice promoted this. I think everybody has contributed. Hit that like button. Also make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's make sure we go ahead. Appreciate Precious for going ahead and dropping everybody's YouTube channels. Nelson, you got a YouTube channel? Are you active on there? You on mute. Still can't hear you. Okay.
Yeah, no. I got I'm not active right now. I got some legal trouble with some crazy YouTubers I'm taking care of. Then I'll be back.
Oh man, you in some hot water.
Damn, Nelson, you done pissed somebody off on the
these red pill women are deranged and insane on this platform. Crazy.
Red pill women?
There are women out here that are claim to be in the manosphere that are like protect men and what they do is if you say something that criticizes their actions or their talking points, they take you to court and file a protection order against you, saying that they felt
Oh
threatened.
shit!
Oh, so I know who you got. I know who you got into it with.
You probably do.
Name start with a C.
No. I know who you're talking about. No.
I'm about to say, damn, that was you.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about though. No, it's another one. You know who it is.
I just put it in the back chat. I'm kind of curious. I'll be following up what's going on. We're gonna get to this last topic real quick.
Had a sixum last night, right? Which I can't. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Right. It's too much energy for me. It's my things to do in the next day, right? But it just you had a sixum.
Yeah.
She should be able to have a sixum.
No.
A fivesome.
No.
Foursome.
No.
Listen, twosome. A sevensome is out of bounds.
No. She didn't wait at home before me to call.
A sevensome and you had a sixum is not being equal to life. And so that's a big problem, right? But sixum, you did a sixum, get over it. She did a sixum. It'll kill you. You'll jump in the fire and rather be burned for the day and walk back home with no arm than the person you love did the same thing you did last night, but just with the people that she was just fucking with. And then the next day, she don't give a fuck about them.
But women don't operate like that. It's hard for a woman to operate like that. I don't think so. Men operate like that. Like you said, you have partners.
Well, listen, women are the new men. Women are in control. Oh. They've always been in control in real life, but now it's come to a place where women always been smarter, more compassionate. They spend more time on making sure things are right, and so they should have the same equality and doing that as a man if he's out there doing that. Of course, if you don't want her doing that, then
you do it.
Period.
Yeah.
But if you are, you have to accept the equality of what that should be. And you have to think about it in the worst way too. Yeah. Like you did a sixsome, go 13-some. Ooh. And then go to 12 and then just accept it, right? Even if she like, I wouldn't, that ain't even, right? That ain't even her style though. But accept that if you doing it, because if she finds out it hurts just the same or it hurts worse. And men don't think it, but it hurts.
Because it
hurts the same way or worse.
But see, we've been taught, and women have told us, like, sex is more tied to emotion and feelings. And so for them to be able to distinguish sex from feeling, unless that's your profession, it's kind of hard.
I don't think so. Not in 2024. Back in the day, yes.
Okay.
In 2024.
It's like that out there, Richie?
I think so.
I'm finna get married.
It's scary, man.
It is.
But don't ever think that, guys think, well, yeah, I had a crazy night, baby. Just like, well, baby, I had a crazier night. Wait, what happened? What's wrong? It's like, that's not right. Right? You got to be able to accept it. If your night was crazy, expect that she had a crazier night.
Wow.
Didn't stop y'all from coming back together the next day eating breakfast. If she was a good cook, she cooked you breakfast, or you cooked her the eggs Benedict.
I ain't even hungry no more, Ray.
You feel me? She done already had the eggs Benedict. She don't want no more.
Am I hearing you correctly? Are you saying that you would be okay if she found someone else, spent a little time with that person, it didn't work out, and then you guys come back together?
Well, I would be devastated, of course, but again, just because the person I love goes out to experience life, I mean, everybody deserves that. You only get one life. When we're both 75, God willing, or 80 or 85, and we sitting at the table, and she asks me, did you live it up? And I'm like, shit, yeah, I did. And when I ask her the same, I want her to say the same.
No, I want to say no.
That's not fair.
Man, look here, I don't want candy apples or ride the merry-go-round. That's at the fair.
That's not fair.
No.
But if you rode the merry-go-round.
Yeah,
she riding the merry-go-round. You've been merry-go-rounding. So she still got to mess with your merry-go-round.
No, that's different.
Mess with her
No, that's different.
No different. No different. And I'm telling you, I had to train myself to get to that point because it's hard. Because a man realizing that a woman is moving on or don't want to fuck with him no more is a mind fuck. Mm-hmm. And it takes them a long time to get over it. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I had to get over that and then understand that everything should be equal.
Everything should be equal, man. Ray J says women are the new men. We'll go ahead and go to Marcus, man. What are your thoughts about that, man?
Absolutely not. Ray J need to get his ass the fuck up out of here. I don't think men and women are equal. And if I got caught cheating and she took me back and then she went and cheated, I'm leaving her ass. I'm not about to play that game. Now, was he talking about men and women, or was he saying that if she had sex with another woman, he was okay with it? Did he add any clarity to that?
He said a sixum, so I would imagine it'd be at least a few sausages in the mix.
Yeah, that was just a fact finding question. I don't know what Ray J talking about. Get his ass out of here.
Men in it, but a sixum is, I think, you and all the rest is the opposite gender, right?
So that would have been a train then.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that would have been a train.
Yeah, so she had a train ran. I mean, if I would obviously, I mean, yeah, there's probably need to be some more context, but I'm thinking he was with 6 women. And then she go out and she be with 6 dudes. And he talking about, hey, well, you should be able to take that. You're going to be devastated. No. And this is the reason why I stated that my premise is on the very first topic. And I like how he so eloquently bridged these topics together, because my point still stands that there is a double standard, and it needs to be a double standard because men and women are different. And the more we try to keep trying to figure out ways to make it even across the board, we're going to start pushing this shit that Ray J's pushing, which is some bullshit. So I'm glad Marcus put it so eloquently, put it that way.
Darwin, have you seen that text where a girl says, I'm going to show these niggas. I'm going to take them out for a date, pay for everything, show up with gifts, have sex with them, and never call them again?
Go ahead and try it.
Every man in the comments was trying to sign up for that shit. We not the same. And the moment y'all try to act like men, y'all gonna be fucked over. That's just, it is what it is.
And you know what?
Can't get even with a man by acting like a man. That shit.
And you know what? You would never hear guys saying you shouldn't allow her to do that, because that's manipulation, or she's being used. You shouldn't allow her to. No, nigga. Men and women are different. Let it go. I want to hear what Sweeney say.
What makes it a double standard?
What makes what a double standard? That's cheating?
That she can't do the same thing. What makes it a double standard?
The acceptance part, or I wouldn't say forgiveness, but continuing on in the situation.
That there's a standard for a man that's different than a standard for a woman.
Right.
Just like when a man has sex with the woman, he penetrates, she receives, he gives, she takes.
I got a video on that. I'm surprised you saw it.
So the reason why, because I agree with y'all that men and women have different standards for one another. That's the reason why the delineation exists, the difference. I don't get how Bruiser tied it back into the other topic, because in that particular situation, we shouldn't have a double standard in the eyes of law when it comes to that. Those two things should definitely be treated the same. However, this wouldn't be technically a double standard, because it's not one person giving one group of standard and then giving another group of standard. Men and women just disqualify each other for different reasons. So unless women, by and large, start disqualifying men for sleeping with a bunch of women, it would never be a thing where men have to give a shit. I mean, where it would never be a thing where men having multiple women disqualifies them. Men, we tend to disqualify women for sleeping with a bunch of niggas. It is what it is. It's not a double standard. It's just different standards.
But you know why women can't disqualify men for sleeping with a bunch of women?
Why?
Because men control who gets married and get relationships. If women were the ones who would propose, and we had to be the ones to say I do, we had to be the ones to make ourselves suitable husbands to them and fit in their system and submit to them. Then us sleeping with multiple women might be a factor.
Wait, how you said it like that's not a possibility? Like women can't ask men to marry them. They just don't.
You want to bridge the equality gap. So
no, it ain't that. It ain't that. I'm just arguing your logic. That's
That
all.
is not my logic.
Your logic was the reason why there's the double standard, that standard exists, and why women can't do it is because men control access to marriage. And then your example is because we're the ones that propose. So if women start proposing to men, then now all of a sudden they control access to marriage.
If women start proposing on as the standard, then and we submit to women, then obviously we have to meet a criteria. Right. That's true.
They would have to be in mass doing that, so the social construct changes from what it is now. The social construct.
So that still makes
no, it doesn't.
It does. It does. You try to you caught another L.
Man, it doesn't, man.
If women control marriage,
how did you draw that line?
Hold on, let me repeat it. If women control marriage and men submit to women on a grand scale, I think sort of like Marcus just stated, as a mass, then we would have to fit into their systems. We would have to meet their preferences in order to be suitable husbands.
But what does that have to? Never mind, bro.
Let me get some other people in now. Go ahead, Nelson. I got you, Trav, next.
So there's definitely a double standard. But I think that it's something that's been shifting. Like, it hasn't always been like this. We're seeing a lot of role reversal. I can speak to that myself just in seeing couples that come into my office. Like, there's because of the earning potential of women and kind of like entering into the workforce and being able to be self-sufficient, things like that. Now there are women that have good lifestyles that end up getting with men that are more passive, that want to be taken care of, that can't hold on to a job, and you see the power dynamic inside that type of relationship. So I've had couples that have come in with that type of relationship and the women have gone on and cheated on them because they said that they weren't men or they weren't fulfilling their needs. And I've also had men that control the power dynamic and they've cheated, and it's been different reasonings. I think though for me, it always comes down to motive, the reasoning, the reasoning behind it. For men, a lot of times when they cheat, and this is not, black and white all cases, but a lot of times when men cheat, it can be purely sexual and no intimacy or emotion behind it. That is now, that is something that is still changing, because you're starting to see more and more women that have those characteristics, but traditionally that's what you've seen from men. With women, the idea used to be that they needed to form an emotional connection to the person that they're sleeping with before they engage in doing that. So for a lot of men, when they find out that their woman cheated on them, it cut differently, because that means that they became attached to somebody else, and moving on together would require them to detach from the person that they had that connection with. So, I mean, there is a double standard. I've seen too many couples that have divorced, gotten back together, like different role reversal to kind of put it all in one pot.
All right, go ahead, Trev.
All right, so I'm just gonna have to take all that back about it not ruining him. I think that she groomed his ass. It is what it is. Like, for him to be coming out speaking this nonsense that he is right now, it's wild. I don't know where the hell he got it from. To me, that just sounds bizarre for him to even be able to consider coming back to a woman who done got railed by 6-7 dudes. That's just outrageous to me. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then he even got into more weird stuff after that, like talking about switching girls and all of that kind of stuff. Like, to me, he just, I don't know, his viewpoints on relationship dynamics are pretty skewed. They're weird. I don't know. I can't. I can't. Like, I'm with Shannon Sharp on this one. It's just a no. I do realize that statistically, there's a lot more men. It's gotten closer, like Nelson said, as far as men and women, like who will return to a relationship. And some studies show that more men would actually stay in a marriage after cheating. I know, Sweeney, you were bringing that stat up a couple weeks ago. So I don't see how they do it, because to me, that's it. You poisoned the well. It's over. It ain't no more rap, period, for me. I could never come back to that under any circumstances. I don't care how far or how deep we are into the relationship. That's a violation. That's just not for me, right? I don't know. Anecdotally, it kind of seems different, because most of the people that I hang around as dudes, they don't. They kind of feel like the way I do, like they would never do it. But I've seen a lot of women go through it. But I guess different cultures, different strokes for different folks. Some men will go ahead and take that. I don't see how they do it though. I can't see it. I'm with you on that, Marcus, because that's, to me, that's wild. And I do think that there should be a double standard, and because the main thing about it is most men, normal men, can have sex, in my opinion, without necessarily an emotional attachment. Now, I've never met a woman who I would want to date who would be able to have sex with a man without an emotional attachment. And that's a problem. She really has to be into that guy. She has to like that guy. She has to serve that dude for her to offer her body in most cases. And again, if she has the ability to separate that and just make it sexual, then that's not a woman that I would want to be involved with on any capacity outside of sex.
I think there's something special about a woman being a vessel for your children, and knowing that your children are coming through her eggs and her vagina, and have somebody else ejaculate sperm into it is another thing. If you wanted to peel back the layers that kind of make it disgusting, versus a man, and man just shooting nut out, it's totally different. Nothing comes inside of him unless he, of course, get an STD or some shit like that.
STD.
And to further push your point, Darwin, I think that what would be exactly the same as a woman getting entered by another man. If a man did that to the woman's man, she would feel the same way. I think it's the act of penetration that really push it past the point.
Pause, man.
I'm saying, because that would be, so when somebody like raids your village or comes into your home, it's different than you raiding somebody else's village and coming to somebody else's home. You might be able to get forgiven for raiding somebody's village, but ain't nobody forgiving you for getting your village raided, is what I'm saying. The act of entering. I might not be fleshing it out perfectly, but I think there's something to, like, it's the reason why we worry as fathers about our daughters being entered by somebody, our wife being entered by somebody, but we don't worry about our son entering somebody. But if somebody was trying to enter our son, it would be a huge issue. They're both acts of sex. One is on the receiving, one is on the giving end.
I get what you're saying. So basically, you're saying, like, if you're riding down the street and you threw some trash out of the window, the person on the passenger side, hey, man, don't do that. That's not cool. But if somebody from the outside threw some trash into your car, you probably want to get out and fight them.
Exactly. It's that bad. Yeah, it is. I get it. Yeah, even though both is throwing trash, it's the same thing. Yeah. But it's way worse when you throw it inside.
Mm-hmm. Because now you got to get that shit out. You know what I'm saying? It's get all sticky. I mean,
you got to deal with the repercussions of it. You got all type of stuff. It like you can go visit anybody's house and not care, but it's real different to let come to your house.
I don't care.
So my question is, if Ray J is okay with it, then why does it matter?
Ray J high. He ain't okay with that.
Here we all go again. Like
Ray J ass. He behind a plant in that same interview.
Going in what's that guy named Fabulous? He came in Fabulous. I'm like,
because I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Marcus. The only thing is that with him specifically, it don't matter. Now, if he was coming out telling, because he was trying to tell everybody else to accept his logic as well. So that's where the problem come in at. But If he don't find nothing wrong with it, then would it really technically be the same? If he don't view it that way?
Hey, Trev, I had a question for you real quick, and I know Marcus wanted to say something. You mentioned something about like women. You never met a woman that typically can have sex with a man without no emotion. Do you think there's women out there that's able to do that? Or you think they just
No. So what I was saying is that there are women who are absolutely capable of that, right? I know some that are damn near sociopathic level, right? Like they can just make the disconnect, whatever, no problem, like a machine, a robot, man. But what I was saying is that there is no capacity that I would involve myself in with that particular type of woman outside of sex. Like that would be that. Like maybe we could be cool, but we can't be romantic, period. If you're able to do that. There definitely are some women who are capable of it. I know quite a few, but I would never be able to take them seriously ever in life. Even if they've ever had that type of a lifestyle at some point in their life, something I never want to be a part of. I don't believe in reformed, whatever you want to call them.
So, like in your personal experience, why do you think a woman is able to do that? I mean, it
depends. I could tell you what I could tell you some of this personal experiences. Some of them have been violated early, or just had different things that may have desensitized them from sex, period. Sometimes they may have just been heartbroken by a dude and then just say, you know what, I'm out the hot girl summer, I'm out the last shot, I'm out to do me. Or I think Darwin might have mentioned it, like I'm trying to match up with the men's, and it just doesn't really work out in their favor because for what I noticed, things that they have in common, they all like just emotional wrecks. Usually they have many different problems, and they find when they find good men, they abuse them, right? They just don't have the respect for them. They'll make the dude think that they like the only one, and they will just, because a lot of them do have relationships that appear to be stable, but then they just never stop. Like they never ever want to stop dealing with dudes. Like that part, it's like once you poke the bear, it's over. Once they get to that point in life, I don't know if it's possible to reform them, because I don't know of any who have truly reformed. And I'm talking about, some women that I talk to who have no vested interest, because there's no chance of it being romantic. And when you speak to women like that intimately, who you were not sticking, they tell you truths that are sometimes unbelievable. And I've heard some of the things that they do, and it's outrageous. So for me just understanding that side of it, and having the ability to get these women to tell me these things, it makes me able to see that side and not want any part of it.
Go ahead, Marcus, you want to add something?
Yeah, no, I was gonna agree with Trev. Most of the women I know that can operate like that, like especially strippers, they had in some form or another been violated when they were younger. Abuse from either the people that you're close to, or if they get in a relationship that was abusive and they get out and they want to wild out, or if they felt that they were abused by how they were constrained in the home when they weren't able to live, then they get out and then they try and live vicariously, not vicariously, but they try and make up for past living because they felt they were traumatized by the way that they were raised. And that may not necessarily actually be abuse. That may be a figment of their imagination, but the ideologies they accept post the very restrained household can come into that. But I think a more interesting thing is, because I know we haven't studied this and there's no way for me to prove this, but I think women's testosterone levels have something to do with that too. I really do.
I got a question. I got a couple questions for y'all, because y'all really like hitting the nail on the head and getting me to understand this a little bit from different perspectives. So is it safe to say that when women experience trauma or abuse, sexual abuse as a kid, they turn out to be promiscuous to a point where it's ridiculous?
It go both ways, Darwin.
And
They
the
either
boys,
extremely reserved from sex or they could be extremely promiscuous.
okay,
So
and
it
the
could be
boys,
somebody.
right? And the boys, the men turn up. The chances of them being gay,
So I think that it has to be from a man.
because I think a man, regardless, I mean, if he don't get sex, he still can end up being really like promiscuous if he's not abused. But I think the abuse kind of pushes him into the other. His sex changes, kind of makes him changes. Well, his preference is who he wants to be with.
From the people I heard talk about it, Darwin, and Nelson
Probably
could
a
come
Nelson
in.
question right there.
Well,
Oh.
I think the thing is with what you're saying though, Bruiser, is that we don't think there's anything wrong with a man being promiscuous, so we wouldn't actually never know because we don't find anything wrong with it. Maybe him being with the something happened to him as a child did make him extremely sexual, but because we don't see anything wrong with hypersexualization of boys and men, we would actually never know.
Right. So my second question is, if a man goes out and have sex with a woman outside of his relationship, who's responsible for the child?
Wait,
Just
what?
the man, right? Just that man, right?
What?
That man and that woman that he had sex with outside of the relationship, right? Outside of the marriage, right?
If a man goes and has sex,
You seeing the consequences that's left?
No,
Like,
so
is it the
so if a woman is if a woman goes have sex outside of her marriage and has a child, the man and the wife and the husband is responsible for that child outside of the marriage, right? Right?
he stay with her? Yeah, if he stay with her.
Yeah, if he's dumb enough to stay.
Let's just say they stay. Let's just say in both cases they stay in a relationship. The
Wait, if she has the child?
Yes, if she has the child, the wife and the husband is responsible, financially responsible for that child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So let's flip it. If the man goes have sex with another woman outside of the relationship, is his wife responsible for that child?
Depends on what state you're talking about.
More than not, there is not. I know he asking the question. I know what you're saying.
It really does, because in the state of Texas, because your money is her money and her money is your money, and there is then technically she would be responsible financially for that child.
So what if they got a prenup then? What if they got a prenup?
That doesn't apply in the state of Texas. You can't prenup your way out of that part of it. So when you're in a marriage, y'all are one. So every dime that you bring in that house is y'all's. So if you go out and you get another one,
in the state of Texas, a prenup, separate, having your assets and finances separate is different.
If you, with everything that you make within that marriage, the prenup protects things that happen. Like you can add certain things, but when you in a marriage in the state of Texas, everything you bring in that house within that marriage is y'all's. So, for instance, a woman was able. So, for instance, they did. This one couple did have a prenup, right? And he protected his assets as far as like his house and all of that, because he had a mortgage and everything before he got married to her. So she didn't have access to the mortgage, but she was able to be reimbursed for all the mortgage payments that he made within the marriage, because that was her money too. So he had to pay her half of every payment that he made towards the mortgage, because that was also her money. So depending on the state, if you pay child support, then technically you're taking the money outside of your home and putting it in somebody else's home. So yeah, theoretically speaking, she'd be financially responsible.
So basically you're saying in the state of Texas, this wife and husband who had the kid from this husband, this household, basically 4 parents will be financially responsible.
If the wife has the baby?
She's married to another man, but she had a baby from a husband from a different household.
Yep.
So basically all 4 of them will be financially responsible.
Technically speaking, yes.
I don't know about that one, but okay.
I just broke it down for you. How don't you?
Now, if they divorce, it's completely different now.
How is it different?
No, I'm saying if
Now
they
you gotta
divorced afterward.
If divorce comes from it, so say for instance she divorces him after he cheats on her with the other woman, then obviously from the point of the divorce on, he will be the only one solely responsible, because she'll be paying him child support. I mean, he'll be paying her child support, then he'll be paying the other woman child support. But if they decide to stay together, then his money is still her money. So yes, she's technically responsible for the child. Financially, she'll be paying for that child.
Interesting. Can you get anything to add on it?
It's a weird way to wrap your. It's a crazy way to wrap your mind around it, but technically, yeah, two couples, and four parents would be taking care of this one child.
And they would be legally bound to take care of that child.
Theoretically speaking, yes. Technically, yes. Because
and my wife go have a baby by another household.
But that's a law that they're trying to also get reversed though, Darwin, as far as like men automatically being responsible for the children that they wives have simply through marriage. That's one of the things that the manosphere and all of them trying to fight against and get that law changed. That way that's not the case anymore. Because right now that is the case in a lot of states where if you married to her and she has a baby, it's understood that it's your baby.
So it don't matter if I'm not on a birth certificate. What if the actual father that's
if
in
you
that
married?
household?
Hell no, it don't matter. Yep.
That's why it's important.
In some states.
Yeah, you gotta understand the laws, man. With everything, when it comes to guns, marriage, those things that really matter. You gotta understand the laws per state.
Whoever live in Texas and married is stupid. No, I'm just kidding. I take that back.
You had anything you wanted to add, Nelson?
Nah, not on that. I don't know all the legal stuff like that, so that's a tough one for me.
So if your woman slept with somebody, I mean, if you slept with another woman and your woman want to sleep with another man, you'd be okay with that?
If what? Say that one more time.
If you cheated and your woman cheated on the same level, you'll be okay with that?
No, not okay with it. No.
So you know that he recognizes it as double standard, right?
Hold on, wait a minute. But is it automatic divorce though? If you cheated on your wife and she caught you and she forgave you, and then one day you cheat on her, and then one day she cheats on you, you telling me you ain't gonna try to do all the counseling and all of that and go through the rigmarole before you, or you just gonna be like, you know what, bitch, I'm divorcing your ass. I'm done with you.
No, I don't think anything is as simple as that. Like a lot of men will easily say what they won't tolerate, what they won't do, but after you've been married a certain number of years,
still do it.
Marriage is complicated. Like everything has context to it. So I learned the hard way about saying things, saying I would never do certain things, and you know what I mean, having to compromise on things.
Yeah. I think it'd be worse if you was the breadwinner. If you was the sole provider and your wife went out and had a kid, it would be even worse versus she being 50-50 and she had to carry her own and actually provide for her own kid she had.
Yeah, I think when kids get involved, I think women are more likely to forgive. I think that's damn near a backbreaker for most marriages. You have a kid outside your marriage. That's
rough.
That's a rough one for most marriages. You talking about damn near the end of your marriage.
Is there a religious message behind that? The reason why men are different whenever a woman have kids by another man? Or is it just that's our innate nature or whatever?
I think it's just the nature, to be honest. I think it's the nature. I mean, I can't really explain it, but I mean, I know men do some foul shit. And to what Sweeney said, if you have another kid and or if it's something's public, I think those are the two top things that would probably send a woman AWOL. Because believe it or not, it's a lot of women that are with men and they will overlook some things. Like they may know, like deep down, and maybe Nelson can really speak on that, but they may know deep down there's some things that are going on, but they overlook it as long as it's not the child or anything that's public.
So we'll call Savannah a piece of shit if LeBron got a woman pregnant, but we wouldn't call LeBron a piece of shit if he divorced Savannah for getting pregnant by another Curry. I mean Steph Curry. I mean not Steph Curry, but another man.
I think you said that wrong, bro.
Did I say that wrong?
I think you
said it again. Yeah.
We would call Savannah James a piece of shit if she walked out on her marriage because LeBron got somebody else pregnant. But we wouldn't call LeBron a piece of shit for walking out of his marriage if Savannah went outside and got pregnant by somebody. Like Delonte West or somebody.
Well, I think it'd be some people that argue on both sides of it. But I see what you're saying. I mean, if we're measuring what people think within the bubble that we're in, I think they will probably come hard on Savannah.
Even outside of
I think that has more to do with male and female bias. Like we're biased towards men, so of course we'll look at Savannah and say, "How dare you leave your husband?" and all of this. But women would be, "You go, Savannah, leave that nigga. He shouldn't have did that to you." Like
you think women would really praise a woman for walking out on a billionaire?
Yes, they was telling Beyonce to leave Jay-Z.
Okay, yeah,
they praised Jeff Bezos' wife for walking out on the billionaire. Right? She defaulted into the richest woman in the world for a little while, right? Because of a divorce.
Just asked that question.
I just wanted to put it on the record by purposely.
But I'll say this too. I would if Savannah wanted to leave, if he did that, I wouldn't fault her for it. If that's not something she wanted to tolerate, I can't fault her for it.
But if she stayed,
you did make the vows.
Okay, if she stayed in the marriage, you would be like, that's a smart choice or a bad choice.
Okay, now you're asking the right question. If Savannah was to stay in a marriage, most men would probably still look highly of her. However, if LeBron James stayed in the marriage, most men would probably be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Look at Forrest Gump over here.
Why is that?
However, if you look on the other side, if Savannah, hold on, wait, hear me out. If Savannah stayed in the marriage, most women would call her a fool. However, if LeBron James stayed in the marriage, even though Savannah stepped out, I'm willing to bet at least 60 to 70% of wouldn't call LeBron James anything other than a good man.
That's because LeBron James is the prize. If Stepman stayed,
it's a female bias.
If Oprah got pregnant and Stepman stayed, we would say Stepman's smart, right?
I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't.
Well, we all look at Stepman and we all said that. Hold on. Now we all view Stepman differently. Stepman falls in a whole different.
I think the argument Bruiser trying to make is that money is the equalizer. You stay where the money is, and I'm saying that shit wouldn't matter to me. Like you could have $1 billion, you start fucking the male guy, bitch. I'm leaving you. I'm not about to. I don't care how much money you got. You're not about to.
You ain't never said if I jumped with a chick who had Oprah money, you could.
Everybody.
It's crazy. Marcus said that because I heard some conversations in the gym where niggas said they would do some nasty shit for some money.
You ain't never, Marcus. You from Chicago?
That's very accurate.
Marcus, you from Chicago, bro. This conversation that happened in Chicago.
$1 million? Hell yeah.
Oprah.
You know what?
Niggas have said they let Oprah get away with a whole lot simply because she.
But it's a difference, right? So here's the difference with that. When a dude go into a relationship like that, you understand that's a sugar mama. You understand the assignment. You're not going in with that like, oh, I'm gonna just love her. Like you're not getting with her because you love her because she's great looking or she a baddie. You're just trying to get to the bag anyway. So if you're like, well, it's just like a job at that point. You know what I mean? It's not
the reason Sweeney. The reason I'm answering it like that is because I done dated some women that was rich, but they tried to act as if they didn't listen. And I didn't feel like doing everything necessary to get her together. So I just gave her warning, gave her another warning, separated for 2 weeks, gave her another one, and never talked to her again.
I ain't saying to you, bro. Hold on, wait. I think we come from a different perspective. Hold on, wait. I'm not saying that the woman trying to disrespect you or punk you or nothing like that. I'm just saying we all view Stedman differently because most men who talk about Oprah, we do talk about it from the perspective that Trev is talking about, which is more of a sugar mama type of dynamic. And that's how we view Stedman. So if Stedman was to stay, wouldn't nobody really give a shit? Because we'd be like, oh, well, shit, you know what I mean? Because he only in it for the bread.
He understands the assignment.
He understands the assignment. We view that relationship differently.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So if anybody date Jeff Bezos' ex-wife and marry her and she cheat, we wouldn't trip if he said, I'm gonna just stay here.
That nigga only dumb if he signed a prenup.
No, yeah.
He's only dumb if he signed a prenup.
I think the introduction of the sugar baby concept is what changed that. Because if we thought that they was in love and that was who we wanted and all of that, that's different than if he just was going to be a paid sugar baby.
Yeah,
like, we all know Oprah.
Men can't be gold diggers, basically.
Yeah, yes, they can. And the thing is because we all know that Oprah is not genuinely attractive, too.
So what makes a man a gold digger? Does she got to be like drastically making more money than him, or she just got to be the provider?
I'll put it like this: how many times you seen somebody mess with a? She ain't even got to make that much money. It could just be a chick that got a nice crib and he ain't got no
More
crib.
than you.
Yeah, she just have resources.
And she got some food stamps that he can rock with. He go over there and just eat chicken sandwiches every damn day, and he knocking the bottom out of her drawers, and she just do whatever the hell he want to do. Yeah, niggas do that shit all the time.
If he don't want Bruiser, if he don't want her and he dating her specifically for what she can do for him, that's
gold digger.
Yeah,
there you go.
They don't even.
I'm
Still
talking
even have to
about
make
marriage, though. I'm talking about in the marriage, not just smashing a joint shorty that got money down the street.
Yeah, but marriage is different now. People a lot of
about-
times we get married for the bag.
I'm talking about you, Kenny, getting out of jail, and you fucked around and date a multimillionaire, and you having to catch her texting some dude or talking about it was good last night. If Kenny stayed, what y'all gonna say?
I put it like this.
Exactly.
And don't wait till Kenny.
Hold on, wait. Hey, you just knocked me all the way off my square with that one.
That's my point.
But no, I'll put it like this. I don't know very many men who are in a position to actually marry. It's such a rare opportunity for men that you barely see it because women don't play that shit. They don't marry broke ass niggas and make them like, you know what I mean? We have to jump so many hoops.
So is it broke or is it just? I mean, because a man can have a decent job but still be far from what she making.
Yeah,
Shit,
what was
hell,
that movie with
Oprah
Jack
still
Lopez?
ain't Mary Stepman.
I heard The Cameraman or some shit like that. I forgot what movie that was. I saw a movie where a rich woman took on a regular dude. I don't know if it was Beyond the Lights or some shit like that. I don't know what it was.
Well, no, we see rich women take on.
It happens.
It happens.
What
but
J-Lo did it, right? No, not
Yeah.
J-Lo. Britney Spears. My bad.
Britney Spears,
She did it. Britney Spears.
Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige got
Mary J.
ran through
Blige.
it too. She paying alimony.
And what did the dude say? Congratulations.
May I show this? Is there an example of where it actually lasts and worked? Or do they all tend to?
Tia Mowry didn't work, did it?
But yeah, no.
And Wendy Williams didn't work either.
I would say shit because
Rihanna.
Rihanna ain't married.
Oh, Beyonce. No, Beyonce. Jay-Z.
Jay-Z make more money.
Damn.
And Stedman, and remember, Oprah ain't married to Stedman.
I thought they had a what is it called? Placebo marriage or
nah
proximity marriage? I mean, what is
you talking about that bullshit?
I've seen it in real life. I haven't seen it like in the celebrity relationships. But I got a friend who stay at home dad. His wife a corporate attorney. I got another. We used to like when I first moved in a building where his wife, she was in like marketing, finance or something, or advertising, marketing. I would see her get picked up in the Uber XL black ones every day, and he just was like a handyman at the building. My grandma more than my grandfather, I think, for some period of time because she was a nurse and he was a bus driver, and they've been together forever. I mean,
Marcus, you absolutely right. It works as long as the respect is there.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as a man is still treated like a man in his household, her money don't matter.
Yeah.
It's when that dynamic changed the way he started getting treated like a poo, but that's when you start seeing shit break down.
But I'm saying, like, if the woman is the breadwinner, does she still submit to the man?
A lot of times, yeah.
Submission don't come from money though.
Yeah.
Submission don't come from money. That's how
it's
a trick bag.
But if you had a group of women up here saying, "Hey, look, you get married, you rich, but if you meet a man that don't make as much as you got to let him take charge and leadership and dictate how the finances and the house."
I don't think they come out and publicly say that, but it happens. He has space. Yeah, they don't come out like that's the problem with a lot of women. They don't come out and actually talk about it about how they. But they do it. But I was gonna add this: the reason why we don't normally see it work among celebrity women is because celebrity women already have a kind of like you got to already have some form of superiority complex and kind of like a narcissistic complex to even be a celebrity. So when they get into these relationships with these dudes who make less than them, you can almost guarantee that he's going to be belittled in those marriages. Like they going to make that nigga feel like, nigga, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
So Don, an extreme example would be like a P, right? You know how he do to all his little girls or whatever. Like that's an extreme example of it. But some of them are in actual relationships. No, like a pimp.
Oh, a pimp.
Right.
Oh.
So that would be an extreme example to where she's pretty much getting all the money. And as you can see nowadays, they don't even really need dudes anymore for real. And a lot of women are renegades right now anyhow. So you have that dynamic, but he is in absolute control and has all the respect in the world. That's an extreme example, but that's just to kind of
it's
give
like
you
a perfect example. Monique and her husband, and then Tabitha Brown and her husband. That's
Who's Tabitha Brown?
Tabitha Brown is she the lady who like she has a children's show. She got a Subway deal and some fresh eating stuff. She retired her husband as a police officer. And the thing about that Monique and Tabitha both have in common, which is I think with relationship that work, because my wife operate this way too. They're so hyper conscious of even appearing like they're trying to emasculate you. They go over and beyond to be even more submissive because they don't even want to. They don't want even the appearance of that shit to set face.
Yeah, and like you said, I think they are extreme examples of how the positive aspect of it. But I think not most women, but in a lot of those marriages where we do see it, where the woman out earns the man, she respects. Like they all respect their husbands in that manner. That's why they tend to work. So yeah, it happens. Just like Marcus was giving examples, like people in this family where shit, there was times when my mama made more than my pops, but she never lost respect for him. She never talked down on him because she made more than him or none of that. It was just that aspect of it. And I think a lot of women do respect their husbands in that aspect. Now, are we starting to see examples of women disrespecting their men and shit like that? Yeah, and that's typically when the marriage breaks down. Once that disrespect comes in, you can almost guarantee that it's a wrap.
And that can occur with people who make money too. That's the thing. Money doesn't guarantee submission. Money is like being handsome don't guarantee submission. A lot of it's a gumbo. Like each ingredient by itself is great, but it's got to be mixed together the right way for it to hit. You know what I'm saying? So
I just thought that women kind of be combative, or I just thought that women kind of be more combative and push back when you're not the one that's the provider. You get what I'm saying?
And I also think that a lot of men make concessions in those dynamics as well. Like they more like in those dynamics, men do tend to also compromise a little bit more. Like I don't mean compromising, they compromise their manhood and nothing like that, but they're a little more liberal in they relationships.
You know what? And I'm glad you said it because I went out on the record to say that in one of my videos that when you get into a 50-50 relationship and you're not really when I say 50-50, I mean I don't mean 100-100. I mean 50-50. Like, look, I'm paying half and you pay half, and what I do with the rest of my money is mine, and whatever those type of relationships. It kind of looking from the outside in, it seems like those guys are more relaxed on submission and cooperation and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
They're more on like, okay, look, let's talk about it and see if we can come to agreement.
Yeah, I agree that like in mainstream 50-50, it kind of does seem that way where everybody just contribute and they don't hold the same. You need to cook, you need to clean.
But I think it's the frame of mind though. It's the frame of mind because they coming in with
those are more odd in relationships where a woman pay 100% of everything. When they be dating the hood dude, they still respect him the same way as if he paid all the bills.
Because he got a gun.
I mean, we all. Yeah, have you ever seen that before?
Imagine if a woman is dating a dude that's named Paul Bart Mall Cop or some shit like that. She gonna probably push back on that nigga all the time.
Yeah.
Think about it.
You said because that nigga carrying a gun.
Because I knew plenty of the dudes from my block who would date nurses, and like say they come home, they get house arrest in her house. Yeah, be tended to them. Like nurse is a common profession. For if the dudes in the street, a lot of girls be nurses, healthcare professionals be like the main girl that date them type of man, and it be periods.
I think we make.
Hold on, I got a perfect example.
I think
of this.
we make
I got a perfect example.
One second, Sweetie.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. I think we make a big mistake when we try to put all women into one box, right? It depends on what that particular woman prioritizes. For some women, it's charisma. For some women, it might be looks. For some women, it might be bread. Because I've seen women who will like really prioritize bread or whatever, but it depends on how they're going into it. They might get the guy for the bread, but then still get other things from men they really like. So you could have the money, but then still get no respect, or they'll just, behave a certain way just enough to make sure they can continue to get the bread. So, but she might just like this, like Marcus was just saying. She like that hood dude. She like his swag. She like his attitude. She like everything about him. And she'll take that bread from the guy that's making all that money, provide, and then trick off on him. Seen it done. It definitely happens. So you just have to understand what the particular female is looking for. You pretty much fill in the void or whatever it is she needs in her life. It's what you do. And then so just take for instance rebounding, right? Yeah,
I got a perfect
in a way. Now, if the more attributes you possess, the more the likelihood that you find you have more options, right? So your best bet as a man is to make sure you check as many boxes as possible, because if it's the woman who want the money, you can get them. If it's the woman who like charisma, you can get them. And all women appreciate pretty much most of those attributes, but women prioritize them differently. To some women, stability is absolutely key to them. To someone, they just want something that they could always look at. Or somebody to love on them all day. And the women will take care of a dude sometimes, and they be like, "I'm a giver. I want to take care of this guy. I want to nurture this guy." And that's what they need. They need somebody who needs something. There's some women like Jada Pinkett who needs to fix a man. So she want a broken man so she can fix his ass. That's what she wants. So you just have to understand what void you're filling.
I guarantee you, if you married a woman who's the provider, the sole provider, and you a stay-at-home dad, she's a divorce attorney, I guarantee you she's not gonna submit to you. She's gonna give you pushback.
I got a question for y'all then. Y'all remember
you don't want no smoke from that.
Hold on, I think we about to dive right into what you just said. We all watched the movie Baby Boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would y'all consider Yvette submissive or not?
Hell no, she combative like a motherfucker.
Nowhere near.
Wait, was Yvette Tyrese's girlfriend or his mama?
Tyrese's girlfriend.
He wasn't submissive, but his mama was to Melvin. Melvin was a.
His mama was
really
though.
Are y'all sure?
She was submissive. Maybe she was. I can't remember. I ain't seen Baby Boy.
Somebody he get to come over there and dictate what goes on in that house.
Oh yeah, he did.
What phone calls she can make? Who can call the house? Ride around in her car, drop off, and he got the car. She couldn't say shit about. Y'all sure?
The reason I'm saying she wasn't
submissive,
in my opinion,
cooperative.
Look how she raised up on his ass.
Yeah,
she was
cooperative. She raised up on his ass.
And she told him that he can't tell her who can call her house and her phone.
No, she had somebody come beat him up.
That was after she got mad. But when he told her,
when he told collectively, right?
Hold on, no, I'm just saying, like, because the thing is that if you think about it in a way, before, like, I think before she found out he was cheating on her, all the entire, like, he had her going to the clinic. You know what I mean? Like, the very first scene was him saying, "You're gonna get an abortion." Like, and then even when he was like when he answered the phone and there was another nigga on the phone, don't let nobody else call my fucking phone. All right.
Gotta rewatch.
But he called back. He called back though and punked him. And she was talking his business to Snoop. Y'all remember that? About how much of a loser he was and all that. You remember that? And how he still lived with the mom and all that. Yeah, she did. She
wasn't. Hold on, wait. She wasn't saying. She wasn't calling him a loser. She was just. She was a chatty patty. She just talked
She
too
told
damn
him
much.
everything. She had no respect for his household.
She
So,
disrespected him.
yeah, she told Snoop everything like, yo, you know, he ain't got no job and he this and that and all this other shit. So, yeah, she was talking her ass off. And the
To
way
another
she was
man,
raising
right?
up on
Her
dude,
ex, right?
she was raising up on dude. No submissive woman will ever raise up on you, ever. Never. That's not, you can't put that together with submission. That is absolutely not a part of
I've seen a
submitting.
lot. I've seen
No,
some
she
women
hit
that
him,
was.
didn't she?
Yeah, she clocked it.
Huh?
She
Yeah.
did talk that nigga.
That's not submissive. You can't describe her as submissive one bit. And then how ratchet she used to get, screaming at him and all that. No
In public
circumstances.
too, right?
That's not submission. Yes, that's not submission.
Oh yeah, I think in some
She
countries you can
scream
go
at
to
him in
jail for that.
public. Well, she did once she. No, I would say this.
Yes, she did. I saw
I
that
would say
shit too,
this.
bro.
I would say this.
I'm about to go watch
I
that
think-
movie after this.
I would say this. I think she was definitely submissive because no woman who's is argumentative is like the total opposite of that wouldn't let him do none of the shit he got away with.
That's false.
He got away with a lot of shit.
No,
Like, and he also
did she let her ex sleep over?
yeah,
No,
after
but
they broke up.
Sweeney, most of the time,
No, after he came home, didn't she let him come in the
No,
house?
no, that was
Yeah,
after he had already. No, that was
Because his
after he
son
had,
was still in the house. I think.
yes,
he said
that was
something.
after they had already broke up. You remember they had broke up already.
Yeah, but she let him come home. She let him come in the crib after he got out.
Yeah, after they broke up, he was done with her.
Yeah, but she still let that nigga come in the crib and stay. That's
No.
when he was. I think he was babysitting the kid at the time or something. She said, "Come get this badass nigga." They ain't or something.
Yeah, no,
and then
that
he
was- I
came in
thought-
there to pick his son up. After that.
No,
Yeah.
no. But that was after they had broke up. You remember she came to the door and was trying to get him to talk about some, hey, the car need to be fixed and all that. He said, that ain't my fucking problem.
Oh yeah,
That
because it
was
was another
after-
dude in
yeah.
the house. Yeah.
Yeah, they was already broken up.
Oh, okay. So you're
Yeah.
saying basically if they wasn't broken up, he would have never been able to come in it.
I ain't gonna tell. I ain't even gonna hold you. I don't even fucking know.
Because I'm saying a submissive woman ain't gonna let her ex come
that's what the whole
crash.
plan was for him to come home. Where else was he gonna go?
Yeah, he was gonna come home after jail anyways.
So Sweeney, I got a family member, right? And his woman, he became a pimp for like 2 years and had like he was running in and out. His woman was not submissive at all, but kept taking him back. She'd be waiting outside the house with a knife, like chasing him down, doing all type of crazy. She like when he get mad, he'd call her to come beat people up. Like she with plenty of girls off a phone call. He'd argue with girls just so she could pull up and whoop them. That was his thing. She ain't push up at all.
All right, so we ain't gonna say she was all the way submissive, but she was definitely submissive. Like,
Bro, Sweeney always trying to find a gray area, bro. You
am I
gotta
lying?
You gotta
She,
come up with
she
your
wasn't all the way. She wasn't all the way, but she was like, "Come on now, bro. For a nigga to get away with as much shit as he got away with, and he was only 19."
Bro, he got away with the average shit niggas get away with.
That don't make
driving
her
her
submissive.
He was driving her car, controlling who called her house.
So you ain't never know. You ain't never drove your girl car, bro, when you ain't had one.
Yes, but also, but no, I'm just,
You weren't supposed to answer that shit.
I said it's submission light. I said it's submission light.
So
I
I
don't
you was
think
a pookie at one
all
time. Sweeney, you just told us you was a
Nah, son.
pookie at one time.
I was a broke.
That's not it.
Sweeney was a fucking pookie.
I was a broke ass college student.
You was a pookie. Was you smashing? Was you smashing?
When my wife came to live with me when I was in college, her parents, she already had a car from her parents.
I ain't gonna lie, all I had was a
College?
motorcycle, so I was a pookie too.
You had a wife in college?
No, she wasn't my wife in college.
I think all of us probably been pookies at one time. Is that
The
safe to
wife
say?
I have now, we've been together for 14
Nah,
years. And that was
JR the
since-
oldest. He probably had the longest pookie streak.
No, I wasn't a cookie, man.
Shit, I was a man. Shit, them.
I had a car when I was in I was in high school. I had a car before I had a license.
Chicago inner city. That car probably wasn't yours, right?
Hmm?
Car was stolen.
Nah, man.
you know, JR had them cool parents, man. His parents bought cars and shit. My parents ain't buy me no damn car.
Don't let him lie.
I
JR
just
got all his motivation from New Jersey Drive.
No, I just had my mom, man. Shit. You know, but my grandfather stepped up though. He used to let me You just didn't give me the car. You just ride to high school with no license. Told me
They
to go
had a
straight
bad
to
alternator, and the
go
alternator
straight
went
to
out in
school
there.
and come right back.
Hey, look. Now I will say this: my
can't.
grandfather did buy me a car. Right? He bought me a what the fuck is that? The Mercury Cougar. And the
Yeah, I remember that.
hey man,
Shit, I had a Corsica.
that bitch didn't pass emissions, man.
That
And
was
my
a 92, 93 or something like that.
you want to know what my dumb ass did?
Did it have? Hold on. Did it
Got a
have the
fake
flaps on the
sticker?
back tires? The back, you know how the mud flaps on it. They had the mud flaps on it.
On the Mercury Cougar?
Yeah, them cars had mud flaps back in the 90s. Some cars had the mud flaps on
It was like a 98 or 99. I don't think it had mud flaps. Right?
That was the high end model. With the mud
Hey,
flaps
man.
was an option. That was an option. The mud flaps be an option. Y'all know that shit. Yeah, it'd be an option. Yeah, that's like an upgrade.
Trust me, bro,
Especially if they painted. It's definitely an upgrade.
Bullshit. White wall tires, boy.
Hey, that little car,
I
man.
can't-
Like my dumb ass. So it was, man, that car was nice too, though, man. It had leather seats, power windows, stereo system in there, moon roof, and it wouldn't pass emissions. And my parents just kept telling me, be patient. We're gonna get it to pass emissions. And my dumb ass gonna sell the car to the junkyard.
How much they gave you for it?
$300.
$200.
Damn.
Damn.
What you do with the money?
Bought an Xbox 360.
Damn.
Hold on, wait. This was when 360 was out.
Damn, son.
Yep.
Damn, they gave you that was an old ass car then.
Yeah, it was an old ass car. I was in high school. It was my senior year. I'm not
You
that
still
old.
got that 360, don't you?
Nah. It had the red ring.
360 came out in 98.
That death ring was crazy.
Red ring.
So hold on. Here's the tricked out part. So I sold my car, bought an Xbox 360, and that bitch wound up getting the red ring.
What'd you do with the Xbox? You took it to Geek Squad?
Nah, tossed
No.
it.
That red ring, it was over. They told us it was over at that point.
I'm gonna tell you, all you had to do is switch the hard drive out.
We ain't know back then though. We was told
Xbox 360 come out in 2005.
Cartridge.
Nah, 360 came out in it?
About 2000. It was. I think I got my car.
2005.
It was my junior. It was my junior, maybe
November
sophomore.
22nd.
2000. Was it 2005? It couldn't have
November
been.
22nd.
Nah.
Yep. Grand Theft. I think I played Grand Theft Auto Liberty City.
It happened in 2005.
Unless it was the original.
2005.
I
got my car in 2000. That was my sophomore year. Yep, you're right. That was when I got my license.
What? You was in high school in 2005? What?
Graduated in 08.
What? Damn.
Nigga, you
God
young, you
damn.
old.
What?
You young as shit. I graduated in 04, 05.
I graduated in 02.
What height? You said high school?
I graduated in
high
05.
school?
Yeah, 02.
Oh, damn.
Who graduated, in 02?
Me?
You talking about high school?
Yeah, 2002. Yeah.
High school?
We're not talking about middle school, bro. We talking
high school.
Well, I don't know if y'all was talking about college. Okay.
No, I graduated.
So when you graduate college?
What?
Oh, you ain't graduated yet. You ain't graduated.
Yeah, I graduated 07.
I graduated college. I was.
Damn. Yeah, I said, wait, 2005. That's what. Damn, I graduated in
Y'all play
97.
nice. I just say high school, man. Just say high school. Don't say college.
Yeah, college was 2002.
Hold on,
I mean, high school was 2002.
I graduated in
When you
97.
graduated high school?
97.
So what?
When you graduated high school?
2000.
Yeah, should I be 35 this year? August.
Shit, I'm about to be 38. 39, I think. 39, yeah, 39.
I think I'm gonna be what, 41?
You forgot.
42?
Damn, I forgot. Hold on, I gotta check, man. I don't know if I'm about to be 38 or 39.
I don't know either. I can be out there
This
my
is like a
wife.
check.
I don't remember no
Damn.
dates, no play.
How old am I? How old am I real quick? God damn.
You graduated in 97? You graduated high school in
Yeah.
97?
I did.
Damn.
Nigga, you damn near 50.
I'm gonna be 45 in September.
Yeah.
So you ain't got no reason. You should be at your prime now.
That nigga married.
Yeah, I'm married. It's over.
Hold on, you married? You've been talking like this the whole time? Oh hell!
Look at Bruiser throwing stones at glass houses.
Yo, wait, bro.
I live in a brick. I mean, what do you call it? What's the side of it?
Cooked.
Vinyl.
He got cooked.
Oh man, yeah, I didn't have